awesome day for a pump, dude.
Hey, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your, no, get after it, and that's your treat. Stay, do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's probably worth it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is... Oh!
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days
Has a
ago.
dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh! Ah, yeah, there's something in there. Ah!
Want one?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It was worth it. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. You just can't. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. Now just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach, hug him up.
He's breathing.
On the other side.
Go.
I can't.
Just-
I can't do it. Help!
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Hey, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick.
Yeah.
Hey, did you get the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, it's no worries. I got it.
Time to get up. These glasses, jacket, and sweats, baby girl, that's a get up. It's chilly outside, but I'm ready to burn. Super hot fire when I move, better feel that burn. Get up before the sun is up, baby, let's work. Good morning. Ready or not, here I come, let's work. Good morning. Get up before the sun is up, baby, let's work. Nobody stopping you today. Low-key walking with a sway. Going for the distance, drop top, hopping in the range. East Coast, baby, but I'm popping in the A, let's go. This ATL, bro, go get it, trendset it. We're embedded with the avant-garde, the style so synthetic. While I pioneer shine like a golden bellish, oh lordy. This your last warning. I've been waiting in the foyer. You put on the gas, I'm ready to go ahead. I hate
Awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your, nope, get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's probably worth it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Just grab my hand. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is... Oh!
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days
Has a
ago.
dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah, there's something in there.
Hello and welcome everybody to the first official week of collegiate Marvel Rivals action here on the NECC. I am one of your casters, Mr. Shibby, here with the oh-so-handsome Vaudable to bring you the Week 1 action. Vaudable, I have been like a kid at a candy store. I have been trying to keep the worst-held secret this past week because I know the announcement graphic hasn't gone out, but we, along with two lovely, lovely individuals, Keg and CB-Chan, are going to be your forecasters for the foreseeable future of the NECC Marvel Rivals Collegiate Tournament. And Vaudable, I'm excited. I can't. I've got so much in me right now.
No, I'm super hyped, especially because we got to see 200 some odd teams sign up for this as well. So
yes.
A lot of interest in collegiate Marvel Rivals just in the NECC alone. And this is the first ever semester that we have officially had something going on for this. Yes, there was a spring tournament that happened. There was a summer tournament as well. Those don't matter. This is the regular season for the teams that are competing. And if you don't know NECC, they have multiple different divisions that people compete in. So it's not just the top teams you'll see. You'll also see some of the maybe not as high ranked teams, but still competitive squads throughout the semester. I think it's 1 through 8 different divisions. So lots of action. Even if you aren't being showcased on stream, there's other people streaming their matches for their specific college. Who knows? You might be going to a college or university right now that does have a team for Marvel Rivals. Check out that page and see if you can get involved in the future as well.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We've got Division 1, Division 2. Obviously, today is a Division 2 day. We'll be featuring some different universities. One that we're relatively familiar with that has dominated the collegiate space in multiple different esports. Mr. Maryville University themselves, Maryville Academy, will be competing later today. But for our 7 p.m. match, or 4 p.m. if you're in the West Coast like me yourself, it's going to be Akron University, or Akron Blue versus Kettering University. These are two Division 2 teams. And honestly, Vaudable, some of these Div 2 teams should probably be Div 1. If you're familiar with the esports space for Marvel Rivals, familiar with what's happening, you're competent in Tier 2, you understand Tier 1, you'll recognize some players in Div 2 later on, or even in Div 1 when we start featuring, teams like Fisher and Northwood coming in. But for our two rosters here, Akron Blue, we've got Trester, Twisted Pickle, Bebop Scott, What's Going On, MEQ0403, and L. Weggers. And on Kettering side, we got Vibing Kirby, Jack Senya, Durkle, Kuna, and Ethmit. Vaudable, the one thing I missed about collegiate esports is the amazing amount of different names that we have.
I was about to make the same comment as you did here, which is just interesting to see here. So kind of looking forward towards the map that we have coming up for these two teams as well. Again, these are all best of 5s that are happening. No best of 3s. You don't have to be like, oh man, my best team that I was hoping for to go the distance only played 2 maps the entire day today. No, you have at least 3, so you have something to go on. But again, kind of looking at the ranks here, you're talking about some of these teams could be in Division 1. Most of the players on Akron Blue kind of a peak around Celestial. Other side, we do see some Eternity level players on Kettering University. So it really just depends on, for a lot of these teams, have they been practicing as a squad? Have they been grinding out the new season? Have they played any ranked or anything competitive at this point in time? A lot of these players will be kind of new to us specifically. But the one thing I am noticing the most is that for the most part, on the side of Kettering, they do have a lot of Eternities on their end. So I'm expecting some big things from Kettering University. And Akron Blue, they're usually pretty well known in other esports titles. They're going to have their work cut out for them today, Shivy.
Yeah, I apologize to any Celestial and Eternity players if I've thrown your game. My bad. Look, maybe a bad day. I don't know. I've probably met up with some of these people in ranked before, so it'll be interesting to see these guys, like you said, in a more competitive setting, organized play. And I know you mentioned the ranks, and it is important because obviously solo queue is a relatively solid judgment on where your mechanical skill is at. How proficient are you on certain heroes? But when it comes to organized play, time and time again, Vaudable, regardless of the game, whether it's League of Legends, Rocket League, Apex, Valorant, sometimes the team that is lower in competitive rank but has played more together can beat the team that is just, in theory, on paper, a higher ranked team. I've seen it, right? Radiance losing to Immortals, Ascendants losing to Diamonds, if you're familiar with the Valorant scene, or Challenger players or Masters players losing to full Diamond teams if you're League. It happens more often than not, and the collegiate space is actually where I see the most upsets happen pretty consistently.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen happen so many times in like any level of competition. Even if it's not Div 1, you see upsets. Like for qualifiers going into these, there were multiple upsets in different titles as well. So just kind of seeing how teams made their way into their specific division, now seeing where they can go from here on out. Because this is a blank slate for Marvel Rivals Collegiate Esports. We do not know who the best teams are. Well, we can kind of assume in Div 1, but the other divisions, we have no idea exactly who is going to show up, who is going to make it all the way to those finals at the end of it, and who are the teams to look out for. So this is where we're diving headfirst into it. And, well, we do have some map specifics here for our first one, Domination. Celestial Husk is banned first. Not too surprised by that, Chivy. Not as much of a favorite as some of the other Domination maps that we do have in the pool, which do include, for those who are wondering, we have Krakoa, Hell's Heaven, Burn T'Challa, and Celestial Husk available for these players.
Yeah, and I love how you mentioned best of 5 format or first to 3, and oh my God, Vaudable, no. I see Hydra. If you guys don't know, I hate this map. Vaudable knows.
You got beef with this map.
I have the biggest beef with this map. I'm sorry to derail what we were talking about with the best of 5. Let me just get on my soapbox a little bit and honestly rant about this map. I get it. It's fun. It's cool. It's hip. The environment changes. I don't like it because sometimes you get stuck behind walls. Sometimes you can get thrown off the map. Hydra Charteris base doesn't make sense fundamentally. And I look, I get it. People love it. It's familiar. But it's weird. It's just weird. That stuff doesn't make sense when you hit 50% and everything changes. I'm off my soapbox. We're going to see these two teams battle it out. I want to talk about what the ensuing meta is because, Vaudable, you touched upon it. Have you been grinding the new Season 4 that just dropped 2 weeks ago, guys? It dropped on, September 12th. People did. It hasn't even really been 2 weeks. It's been like 11 days. Yeah, and we've had some pro tournaments, and Vaudable, I know you've been tapped into the scene just like me.
Oh, yeah.
We've been seeing a lot of different compositions. One hero in particular I've been seeing that has been rising in the ranks, previously hated, Mr. Jeff the Landshark himself.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it for the Jeff fans out there. And I think a lot of it comes down to specifically their team up that they have with Venom. There's more of kind of a dive focus than there used to be. It's been much more popularized, and people are getting more familiar with what you can do with that as well. Also, just focusing on strategist bans compared to mainly vanguards and duelists. I mean, if you watched Ignite at all, you would see the top 5 bans were all strategists. And then right after you would see Emma, of course, because they're either saved or they're banned out. Those are like kind of the priorities for a lot of teams out there. This is going to be a little bit different from Ignite, though. It's more closer to Marvel Rivals Championship because it's Marvel Rivals Collegiate. Kind of makes sense because they're going to be doing the simplified ban. So if you ban something, it's banned for everyone. If you save something, it's saved for everyone. So that way you kind of have, okay, I can go for this side of things on their side of go for exactly what I want to save for my team and make sure that the other team cannot play what I don't want to play against. So we'll see what they do exactly with the picks and the protects here for their side of things. Akron on the left side, Kettering University on the other end, and I'm not too surprised to see Human Torch go out so quickly. Magic as well, I was going to talk about that. The new team up that they have is deadly.
Yeah, it is disgusting. And if you're a good Magic player, if you have like multiple hundreds of hours on Magic, they have been feasting here. The Storm save is interesting. With the introduction of Jeff coming back in, pro teams have been saying, wait a minute, Jeff NATO is still good, guys. It was actually never nerfed after its introduction, by the way. Jeff NATO has been and always been good since release here. There's a Magneto save for Kettering University. They seem a little bit more tapped in, right? Obviously, you can mention Eternity players. They're probably watching the pro scene a little bit more. And I'm very interested to see the pick ban phase for some of these coaches and how they navigate it. It is, like you said, more simplified. It mirrors, I think, more closely to what you would typically see in competitive. Obviously, in competitive, they have double bans. There are no double bans in this system.
There's the Jeff ban.
There's the Jeff ban after the Storm save. That's strategy, right? That's thinking with your noggin. Kettering's like, wait a minute. They save Storm. I'm not going to give them Jeff. And guys, like we mentioned, that means Jeff is banned out for both teams. It's not like Ignite. It is, like you said, more similar to MRC or even kind of more similar to your own game. So I like that these are universal bans. It kind of changes up the meta a lot more too. It makes it a little bit more spicier at times. Like you said, Human Torch, Phoenix being banned away. Really smart because the Magneto Phoenix combo is still available, guys. How it works, let me drop some knowledge on you. Magneto ults first, then Phoenix. Phoenix drops down onto everybody. Magneto then drops it on to all the supports and they die. It's very, very simple. Very, very good combo. Akron and Kettering have been doing their research, Vaudeville. I saw you taking notes.
That they have. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're also taking notes that making sure you secure support is really important, especially at this stage. And, well, we do see Emma available on the table for these teams. That's going to be interesting. Such a effective Vanguard out there, regardless of which side of the fence you like to sit on. If you're like, oh, they're too powerful, oh, they had some nerfs that are not as good as they used to be. Psylocke as well. If you have Emma available, you probably don't want to worry about Psylocke too much too, so it makes sense to get rid of them on that side of things as well. And then Rocket Raccoon on the other end. Okay, that's very interesting. I mean, I guess from the start too, it makes it so that you can't get those armor packs at the beginning, or you don't have to worry about the Wolverine being able to just leapfrog over everyone either, because you don't have a Rocket Raccoon able to give them that little jetpack. So a couple different things that they could be denying there, specifically on Hell's Heaven for domination. But now it's going to come down to like what the compositions are going to look like for these teams, and I'm really curious what their strategy is going to be from the get-go, because again, this is our first ever look at Marvel Rivals Collegiate.
Yeah, and with Emma and Magneto being saved, it's really interesting that Kettering, the team that actually ended up saving those two heroes, opted in for the Psylocke ban, simply because you'd figure that a team that's willing to take this tank line has a goated Psylocke. We do see some interesting stuff here. I'm going to say, just to preface everybody, the heroes you see right now, I don't really take it too much into fruition. Some of these guys mess around. They swap around like at like even the 5-second mark. But from what I'm getting at the moment, I really like seeing this Moon Knight. There's another hero that I'm seeing being picked up that wasn't banned out by either of these teams, so maybe they're not watching too much Ignite. Mantis has been let through the pick and ban phase. That was a must ban pretty much in every single game in EMEA from what I saw. So I'm really interested to see how this damage boost works, specifically with this Moon Knight, who's just going to be hammering into your team. Doesn't matter if you're running triple support or double support, whatever. Moon Knight damage boost is absolutely disgusting because he got that change in with that new extra right-click charge, his Moonblade. He absolutely nukes backlines, but it is going to be a solo DPS Moon Knight for Kettering University.
That's going to be interesting to see exactly what their strategy is with that as well. I mean, triple support is so popularized currently, so I'm not too surprised to see that happening here as well. But the Storm, again, you talked about the damage boost ability with them. I'm surprised we don't see a Storm even teamed up with a Mantis so that they have like all the extra damage possible available to them. But hey, maybe they have other priorities here as well. You do see the Moon Knight getting pushed back at least a little bit from that first objective. So right now, Akron Blue doing a pretty decent job for themselves. Again, can't underestimate the Celestial players. It's mainly Eternities from what we've seen on the side of Kettering. That is peak rank, though, to be fair.
Yeah, that is peak rank. Sometimes you can hit a peak and then drop back down into the, we'll say, depths of Celestial for some of these players. So I think it's a fairly even team here. That Moon Knight ult whiffs completely. Actually doesn't do too much there. Not able to get a kill. Kirby able to save that invisible barrier here. That's going to give them that ult economy right now. We're going to see Akron Blue hold this down pretty well. I love that Kuna has his ultimate available. And typically, Magneto is a counter to Punisher. But when you have your own mag, you're able to pop this with the bubble. And unfortunately, this is not just going to get countered here. Kuna, understanding that Turster just does not have the Meteor M available because of the fight wins. And he's just going to be able to snowball this into about 50 to 60% more for his team. Mind you guys, we're in domination. This is a very fast game mode, and another Moon Knight ultimate comes out, whiffs completely, doesn't get anybody. Kettering, are they going to go back to the drawing board? Because this solo DPS Moon Knight, yes, it's building the ultimates Vaudeville, but it's simply not getting any value.
That's such a tough spot to be in too, right? You need something a little bit more than a Moon Knight, I feel, on domination to try and take down a team like this. And this is the interesting thing also about Collegiate, is that we don't really get to see the exact compositions you would typically have in maybe a competitive team. These are just sometimes the people that you had on campus that you just got together with for the first time. Yep. So we'll see as the weeks go on, teams figure out exactly what they want to play with and what their compositions look like from then on out. But right now, this is the first look for these teams, and currently it's looking a lot better for Akron Blue. We do have the Meteor M coming through, though. That's a nice dunk on it, too. The Storm, not too much they can do to escape it.
Yeah, it was a good psionic embrace coming out from Kettering as well. A lot of ultimates have been used, and now Senva says, you've got a Meteor M, I've got one too. Whiffs completely, though, unable to pick anybody up, and Kettering are finally going to be able to flip this point, but Vaudeville with Akron getting 99%. This is a saying that I like to talk about all the time. Kettering has to play absolute perfect Marvel Rivals from here on out if they want to win this point.
That they do, and it's such a tough spot for a lot of teams to figure out, okay, I know exactly what I need to do from here on out, but if I don't have the ult economy, there's not too much I can do about it. So all
Yep.
eyes are really going to be on Akron Blue to see how they push onto this objective and turn things up a notch for themselves. I'm really looking out for Kuna to see if they can get something going, especially the judge, jury, executioner, take out some people that might not be as aware. But we do have invisible boundaries available for both teams, so that's going to be very crucial. Who pops theirs first?
Yeah, especially because this Moon Knight has been building ultimate relatively quickly. Kirby might feel threatened to pop this just for the win, and actually he's going to pop a raw invisible barrier, and this is going to give this Moon Knight, all they have to do is wait a little bit, but like you said, Final Judgment is coming in. We're going to counter it with the Moon Knight ultimate. Psionic Embrace as well. One kill has gone over. They've denied the Punisher ultimate, but in turn, a support goes down for Kettering. It's a 5v5 at the moment, and unfortunately, Moon Knight is not able to get enough bounces going. Senya picks up a kill onto Turster, though, and Akron Blue are able to temporarily try to flip this point. The portal has come in from Kuna, as he was the first one to go down on the Punisher, but is this enough? Can he get his team this point? Ethmit specifically is going to pop that Luna Snow ultimate. Now they're going to kind of maybe combo it with a damage boost here, as Fusion with Goddess is going to come in, and that's going to secure Akron Blue this first point. It looks like with portal being used, an overinvestment of ultimates is going to allow them to secure this point. They just got to take down the Luna guys. The Luna guys, not the tanks. Wait a minute. Okay.
Oh, man. You heard the fear Magneto, but it was too late to fear anything at that moment. Actually, more of a wasted ultimate than could have just carried that over to the next stage on Eldritch Monument. But Akron Blue doing everything necessary to take on the Super Soldier Factory, secure that first point, and be one step away from getting the first map of Marvel Rivals Collegiate regular season here, which is just a great thing for them. I mean, they're looking pretty solid. I like the way that we have been seeing DeVerkel do everything necessary just to focus down the back line and take them down, because again, with a triple support, if you can at least take down one or two of them, makes it a lot easier for you to keep yourselves in the fight, because they don't have as much damage. And that's been the biggest issue for Kettering University, is just focusing on that Moon Knight. They can't really burst down the other team, especially if they spread out.
Yeah, and one thing I love about Marvel Rivals, specifically in their domination game mode, laudable for anybody that's coming from maybe a different hero shooter or a different game, Ultimate Charge actually carries over into the next round. It doesn't fully reset at 0 here. So what I'm looking at for Kettering on this first point specifically, we've been keeping an eye on him pretty much this whole game. What's going on this Moon Knight? Has a Moon Knight ultimate available for himself. Hand of Khonshu is going to be absolutely crucial in securing this first point. Kirby, though, does have the invisible barrier to counter. We'll see if they can actually use this ultimate to their favor. First point win went to Akron, and it is so important, specifically in Marvel Rivals, getting that first point victory.
That it is, and we'll have to see who gets this first team fight win. Kettering University, I feel like they need this, though. Again, they'll be able to set the pace for this, especially if you see what's going on, able to use their ultimate to fruition. Didn't really get a pick of it, but did push a lot of people of them away from the objective. So they can at least get some more eliminations, might be enough, but they get taken out themselves, and everyone going down from Kettering University. They can't stay alive to save themselves. Got to save that ultimate for later for Turster. And again, the rest of the team falls in tandem. Akron Blue are cleaning up, it feels like.
I love what Akron did there as well, right? They completely waited out the Moon Knight ultimate. They didn't burn Kirby's invisible barrier, and they instead used it offensively, right? Because of the new changes that she got. Invisible barrier, you actually can't fight in it if you're the enemy team. Like, it slows you by a disgusting amount and allows you to get focused down by the rest of the team here. I love that usage. Now we don't have the Moon Knight ultimate for what is going to be the Final Judgment coming out from Kuna, although he has been building it up pretty quickly. He's already at 75%. Turster has a Meteor M available, so he's got to communicate with this team. He needs the bubble here.
Wow,
Very
and
well played.
Doesn't do anything. I mean, we've seen that happen a couple of times here with the Meteor M's. They've just been trying their best to place them, and they've either gotten taken down because there's been so much damage going through, and there's not really much they've been able to do with it. So, tough spot to be in. If you are Akron Blue, you're hoping to get a little bit more percentage there, but Kettering University quickly pushed back a lot faster than we saw them in the last objective. So this is a good look for them, but they need more where that came from. Need to win this next team fight. They did hold on to their ultimates a lot better than they did before, so that is going to bode well.
Yeah, I feel like Bebop's going to use the Mantis ultimate here to counter what is going to be Durkal's Storm. I would like to use that. I think burning that Luna ultimate is oh so important here. I don't think you want to use that for anything other than a guaranteed fight win. And Twisted Pickle does have the Sonic Embrace available. There comes the Omega Hurricane. They're going to probably drop it onto Kettering University, as Bebop has popped the Mantis ultimate. Popping it early is smart, so you get the extra bonus HP, as we are going to see the Hand of Khonshu get dropped, but it doesn't matter because Durkle is able to take out one of the crucial supports. 5v6, and Kettering's going to pop the Luna Snow ultimate, and here comes Senma with the Meteor M, lands it, dropped onto the Luna Snow, and without that crucial ultimate, Kettering is going to go down one by one. Akron Blue turned the fight around with some very, very smart ultimate usage there. Senya making up for every single whiff.
That was massive from Senya. Really did everything necessary to push that forward for another capture by them. Make sure it's an even offensive from them against Kettering University. And now we see the swap off of Mantis. Okay, we got Suns out, guns out here for Bebop Scott. Nice to see the new costumes coming through for the Punisher this time. We'll see if their water/Nerf gun will be able to do enough damage for their side of things. Because again, when you do see a Punisher on the other end, you typically want to go with a Punisher of your own just to keep a damage output going and just suppressing fire against the other team. This is what we've been lacking from Kettering University because they only had the Moon Knight backing them up on the duelist side of things. So hopefully this will be enough for them, but it might be too little too late, especially with not a single person touching the points.
90% here. Final Judgment going to be paused by Kuna, and there's really nothing that can match it. Turster
Suppressing.
not even willing to burn the Meteor M. This is a zoning ultimate from Kuna. At the end of the day, it is going to get you that 99%. Both invisible areas get popped, and Turster needs to land this onto the invisible woman, or needs to land onto multiple members here. Is able to get Kuna. That is one DPS going down, but Wrath of the Goddess is going to come in along with Senya cleaning up the kills here. And Akron, again, smart ultimate usage. Turster does get the kill into Durkle, but I think it's too little too late. Akron get a 5-for-1 trade here, and Kuna on the Spider-Man trying desperately to reach the point, had the rollouts, but Akron Blue a 2-0 victory on Hell's Heaven here against Kettering University. Celestial players got hands, Vaudable.
That they do. I mean, a great look for Akron Blue against Kettering University. It just felt like they had better cohesion against the other team. So we'll see what happens in the second map. We, of course, also have the new MVP here as well. It's nice to see, you know, the family synergy there. But either way, vibing, Kirby also just doing all the vibes that they need for their team to really just come out on top for their squad. I mean, looking specifically at these stats of the players and who really popped off the most on either side, we saw a lot of great work from Turster on the Vanguard end. I mean, really the only one getting final hits for their side, and that's the toughest part. I mean, what's going on was the solo DPS for such a long time, but only 3 final hits for the team. You didn't have enough finishing power. When you look on the other side of things, the majority of the other team has more final hits than your duelist. That is not a good look. When you're playing in domination, when you're playing in any game mode, you need to be taking out the other team in some capacity, and triple support is not going to be the way to keep you in the fight if you can't even take out the other team from the fight.
Yeah, usually you can make up some of that, I would say, damage differential with that Mantis, right? The damage boost kind of supplements and say, you know what, we're lacking a DPS, but we have Mantis, who's obviously a more DPS hybrid focused role, as well as her ability to damage boost one of your DPS. I don't even think the single DPS necessarily was the issue in terms of the composition. I just think they chose the wrong one, right?
I was thinking the same thing. I didn't want to say it for all those Moon Knight fans out there, but, you know, Moon Knight for so long.
I'm harsh. I'm harsh, Vaudable. I'll call it how it is. I'll be the mean one here, guys. Moon Knight was not the answer. I know he got buffed. I know he was building up ultimates really quickly. It looks nice on the scoreboard. Guys, I built up 4 ultimates in one round. What happened? Well, most of them whiffed. None of them really did anything. The crazy thing is, if he had swapped to Punisher, and that would have been a 3 support, 2 tank Punisher composition, those are what really dominated the early seasons of Ignite. If you remember, when Punisher first got buffed, it was a lot of 100 Thieves specifically running those solo Punisher 3 support, 2 tank compositions to a lot of success. They even run it now, or even ran it previously during the qualifiers for the international stage. So I'm actually relatively surprised that we didn't see the swap over. Maybe, like you said, sometimes you're kind of dealt with the hand that you have. Your players can only play, you know, specific heroes, and sometimes you just got a Moon Knight, you know, player that, you know, only can play Moon Knight. Maybe he's not the best Punisher, but I think that swap needed to happen sooner. They had the right idea. I like 3 support, right? It's a very good composition, a lot of sustainability, a lot of good ultimates. You kind of just outvalue the enemy team with support ultimates, but unfortunately Senya just kind of dunked on them. Had a pretty good Meteor M pretty much every single time, And unfortunately, the 2-2-2 composition for Akron beats out Kettering in this domination map. We are going to be moving over to, I believe, a convergence map, correct?
Yeah, no, it'll be Convoy, I believe.
Payload?
Let me check
Oh,
real
Payload.
quick
Okay.
on this side of things. Oh, no, it is Convergence. Okay, yeah, so it is Convergence this time. So I'm really curious what map we'll see. Again, there's only 3 that they can choose from. They ban one, then pick one for their side of things. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Central Park. We've seen Central Park a lot of times. Teams, are kind of familiar with that one. Symbiotic Service, I feel like we don't see as often as other ones on their side of things. So I hope we do see... I'm just a really big fan of Central Park personally, just because there's so many interesting things that can happen on Central Park, especially if you just hold that first objective, the other team can't do anything against it. I'm sure we'll see a lot of that happening, specifically with this kind of Div 2, maybe Div 3 even competition between these teams that are out there. You don't see it as often in Ignite in the top levels of competition, but it still happens, so who knows?
Yeah, I think Central Park's really interesting as well because, that's one of the few maps that has, well, let's not talk about Central Park because we got Hall of Dajalia instead here. And this is a very interesting map. I feel like it is a very divisive map. You have one side of the community that loves Hall of Dajalia, that loves the interactions with the first point and then kind of snaking into the second point and making that third point a little more brawl focused, right? I think this map kind of tests your ability to play multiple heroes, right? It's very open. There's a lot of open sight lines. Then when you get into that last point, it becomes a lot more closer where some of those melee DPS can really start to thrive. Then you have another side of the community that absolutely hates Hall of Dajalia because of that first point, specifically of how difficult it is to absolutely attack because realistically you have main, then you have that high ground on the right side if you're on the attacking side, and then you've got everybody pretty much going to the left on that high ground, and then it just becomes a DPS war, right? It just becomes which duelist can get the pick first. So I can kind of see why I like Hall of Dajalia. There are opportunities for double shield. You can run dive. You can run flyers. It is a very flexible map for a team that can flex multiple heroes.
We'll have to see, because, we didn't see too much flexing in terms of the heroes. The only real swap we saw from Kettering was from the Mantis on to the Punisher. So maybe we see something a little bit different. Maybe there's a bit more one-tricks kind of going on this side of things. This is the time for us to discover exactly where these teams fall in their specific groups. Again, Div 1, they have 2 groups. I think there's 4 groups for Div 2, and it kind of goes on from then on out, depending on how many teams there are in each division. So we'll see what the bans and saves are going to be. Again, Kettering immediately going for the Human Torch. They do not want to play against Human Torch because, again, they are very good, regardless of what Shibi's TikTok comments say.
Oh man, don't get me started, guys. If you want to laugh, just go to my TikTok and just look at some of the comment sections. I had people arguing with me that Human Torch, all you need is a hit scan audible. That's
it.
man.
It's so simple.
Why didn't I think of that?
Why don't people in the pro league do that? It's crazy.
Anyways, Storm is going to be saved out for Akron. I think they had a lot of success with it. Even if it didn't garner a ton of kills during the ultimate, it was the after effect, right? Them using that damage boost with the double DPS, and they were running it with the Punisher. That's the sneaky thing. The damage boost plus Punisher actually increases his kill thresholds, right? It makes it so that it takes 7 bullets instead of 8 or 4 bullets instead of 5, which is actually very good, especially if you're a very accurate and deadly DPS, which Kuno was, by the way, especially with that ultimate, was getting a ton of value. Maybe that last one, not as much, but that was a zoning ultimate, right? That got them the 99%, and it forced Kettering to, do something about it. Interestingly enough, Kettering, they have been doing a little bit of the research. They understand as well, hey, Venom's pretty good on this
Save
map.
the Jeff.
Venom
Save the Jeff.
has
Save
been
the Jeff.
the premier dive DPS, and I would save the Jeff. If I'm Akron here, I save the Jeff. There's just no way.
It's not going to happen.
Wow, they don't value it. Maybe because the Venom is banned out, that they don't feel that Jeff is getting enough value. Usually with the double team up, it's a lot better, like you mentioned, Vaudable. I know a lot of people are memeing on the Tendrils. It's actually really good when you, as a team, push together. Yeah, it's not good when you're only using it on your support in solo queue. 100% understand. Terrible in that situation. But as a coordinated unit, the Venom, Jeff team up, Tendrils, the healing that you get is absolutely disgusting. It's essentially the Luna Snow Adam team up, but just only healing.
I wonder if we see the Emma ban come out here, because again, it wasn't saved on the side of Kettering, and yes, that's exactly what we see happen. It's like, okay, if someone's not going to save it, the other team's probably going to ban it, and that's exactly what we witnessed this time, especially because the Wolverine went through instead of the Phoenix getting banned that time. So that way they wanted to make sure they had the Phoenix, especially because there's so many long sightlines on this map that you have to like be careful of. And it works really well with kind of a hit scan, but more of a floaty character like Phoenix is on this side of things. So really curious what the exact picks are going to be once we actually get into seeing what the composition is going to be for these teams. Because again, domination might be a little bit different than what they go for on convergence for Hall of Dajalia, looking on the defense and at the offense end. And Squirrel Girl, okay, we'll see if that comes out. I mean, very annoying to play against a good Squirrel Girl, especially if you are a Groot that's just trying to put up some Groot walls, and then they are just heat-seeking missiles sent towards those and taking them down all the time. But speaking of Groot, we do have it on the side of Akron Blue. They completely changed up their makeup this time. And on the other side of things, you know, a couple changes here and there, but not too much. Twisted Pickle, you do see on the Doctor Strange, and of course Bebop Scott, now that the Phoenix is available, is going to be opting for it.
Yeah, they've got that Magneto Phoenix combo available. Also something that we've seen pretty popularized, double hit scan with double shield. It just feels impossible to try to break here. But you do have the Moon Knight Groot combo, which is very, very good, right? Hand of Khonshu plus Strangling Prison absolutely demolishes teams. Doesn't matter what support ultimate you have going, whether it's Luna Snow or the Invisible Woman here. And I like that Akron has opted in for the Winter Soldier specifically. I feel like this hero is server admin this season, right? It's just too good.
I mean, always too good in my opinion. A lot of people say, oh yeah, you know, maybe Winter Soldier wasn't as good last time. I think people just had more fun with other characters and other metas more than anything else. I think Winter Soldier has never been bad. So we'll see them be pretty effective, but it depends on how things go for Kettering University on their side of things. Again, taking this kind of roundabout route on to the first objective, I think is always a good idea for these teams. And now looking at Kettering University having this high ground, they just got to hope they stay alive because they're kind of sitting ducks right now. They haven't really pushed forward and had a concentrated effort. They've been focusing on the duelists as much as they can. A single pick does go for onto the Verkle that time, and that will open things up for Kettering University.
The Verkle had that Moon Knight ultimate available, but probably was waiting for Jack. And this is a tough game for the Groot. Double hit scan into Groot is absolutely a nightmare for him, right? He's a walking ult charge battery. Duracle is going to come in here. We are going to see invisible barriers pop by both squads right now, and it looks like we do see Duracle coming back into the fray. It's 6v6 for now. Strangling Prison comes in. Moon Knight ultimate not available, or if even it gets dropped, actually doesn't get any kills here. We're going to see the Phoenix ultimate coming in as well. Eye of Agamotto lands onto multiple members here, but no kills go into the favor of Kettering University. Everyone managed to live through the smorgasbord of ultimates. Meteor End coming in for Turkster, still doesn't land. Duracle finally picks up a kill. Turkster picks up Emmett. That's a 5v5 with the support going down for Akron. You've got one support in the bank. You've got to play maybe a little bit more conservative, but Kettering is on the back foot because they've lost their tank.
Ouch. They didn't have anything to sustain them. Tough. I mean, Magneto can do like a little bit, but his shield only goes up for a couple of seconds now. It's nerfed what it used to be. So, and specifically talking about what it used to be when the game first came out, not recently, because Magneto is another golden child that they barely touch in terms of nerfs out there. They're perfect, they say. But Akron Blue playing as well as they could, using their ultimates properly, making sure that they can back up the Kettering University team. And again, this with convergence, you can just hold a team here and make it easier for you just having to capture a single checkpoint, not even a full checkpoint, a third of it on the capture point if you take them down before they even get anything. And they already took them down. What is happening? Moon Knight's just slaying out.
Yeah, Moon Knight ultimate coming in absolutely destroys Kettering University, who's trying to go through that more confined area. And the Moon Knight pick, really, really good for teams that want to try to take that high ground. You don't actually have a lot of, you know, areas to move around once you take it. With that bridge being broken, they can't actually loop all the way around there. So if they want to drop onto the point, they have to drop onto low ground. And of course, DeVerkle still has that high ground available. And look at Meg. She's like, guys, I don't know what we can really do here. Invisible barrier is up. Senya does have the Meteor Am to try to counter here, but Kettering, all intents and purposes, 5 ultimates in the bank right now, should be able to win this fight. Meteor Am comes in, doesn't land onto anybody. Senya misses. It looks like what's going on is going to pop the final judgment. It gets absolutely rolled here, and we do see Strangling Prison into the Kraken impact, but no resets for Kuna. How does that happen, by the way? Because he ulted straight onto the Strangling Prison. Did you just miss everybody, or did they die before he could even land? Doesn't matter. Akron Blue wins another fight, and Kettering are going to have to burn this Doctor Strange portal. 15 seconds left. Eye of Agamotto and Phoenix ult available. Surely they win this fight if they get on the point, right, Vaudeville?
We'll have to see. I mean, the way things have been going for Kettering University, looking at their ranks before, I was like, oh yeah, maybe they have the advantage here. But Akron Blue, we know they're a storied program in any collegiate esport. This is why they have the team coordination. They have probably been scrimming, practicing for this moment. And now we'll see what they can do. The Eye of Agamotto does come out and at least gets one. But they get traded as well. DeVerkel takes them down on the Moon Knight, has their ultimate available for them. They'll probably profit on the objective at some point if they can stay alive. And there we go. The moon does haunt them, but doesn't really do too much as they are getting taken to task a little bit. But Kettering University, they can't even stay on the objective. There's not really anyone left remaining to try and keep on the point. It's that one sole Vanguard who is taken to pieces. Yes, the portal was there, but nobody alive to go through it, and not a single third of the checkpoint was taken by Kettering University.
Yeah, 50% was captured there. So there is a window.
Oh, so there was a little bit. There was a little bit. Okay.
A little bit. Not a little bit. 50%. There is a window where Kettering can win this if they hold Akron, obviously, to no percentage points. But how disrespectful is that, Vaudable? Akron says, oh, you play Moon Knight? DeVerkel's like, no. I play Moon Knight.
This is how you play Moon Knight.
Yeah, he kind of took him to school a little bit, was disgustingly effective on the defensive side.
Ooh.
Don't think it's going to be as effective on the offensive side here, and I really love this Adam hover, because Adam is one of those heroes that just can completely wipe away any progress, right, that Kettering has. The way you use Adam, the way that pro players use Adam in team compositions, is that they wait for an overcommitment of ultimates
are they going
from
for
the enemy team. Oh,
they trying to get
put it on Durkle. Put it on DeVerkel.
There we go. We'll see. We'll see if it gets anyone.
Does he have it? Is he a lineup Larry? Does he know? Does he know? Are they knowers?
Probably.
Please get a kill. Please get a kill. I would cry. Oh, we got hit markers.
It was on Bebop Scott though, so it wasn't really gonna do anything.
Unfortunate. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. We got, see, guys, Valorant players, we got lineups here too. We got lineups here too, guys. It's fine.
Please pay attention to us.
But I did want to talk about this Adam pick, because obviously DeVerkel is going from a DPS orientated role on the defensive side to now something a lot more supportive. Still has DPS, still has the ability to kill here, but the way you use that Adam ultimate is you wait for Kettering to overcommit a lot of their ultimates, get that team wipe going, and then you pop that Karmic Retribution, as they're just going to TP onto point off rip here, because they know if they win this first fight, they win the round.
Focusing on the Luna Snow is huge to take out the backline, so they can't even do anything to sustain themselves. They really only have mech available for them to keep them in this fight. And yeah, they push back on the objective, but the portal was huge. We do see multiple players, though, going down from Akron Blue, so it looked good. But I think they split up a little bit too much. They diverged from their tank, who was focusing on the backline. The rest of them went towards the other part of Kettering University and then just fell apart at the seams as they split up. Interesting
I think
strategy.
Jack got a little over aggressive. Sure, you get the Luna, and he's probably screaming it like, guys, I got the Luna, but the rest of his backline instantly collapsed there. Unfortunately, as good of a tank as Magneto is, if the rest of Kettering University just run onto your team, you can't really do too much about it here. DeVerkel, though, said, you know what, no more Adam. Let me just win the game here. He's going to swap over to the Punisher here. We're going to see Punisher and Winter Soldier. And they've already gotten a pick right now. Twisted Pickle is down. We've seen DeVerkel in this high ground position. Can he actually do work? Kuna picks up the kill onto what's going on in Kettering University. Are going to pop the invisible barrier. That's really nice. Eye of Agamotto lands onto multiple members. Picks up one. That's Emily. That's one support going down. The Groot ultimate comes in. Strangling Prison isn't enough. There's not enough kills. Senya does pick up a kill, though. And Akron Blue, little bit of mishaps in the first couple minutes, but surely they've got this point in here. Armed and Dangerous does get procced here, but they're going to pick up the round win. And right now, it is a 2-0 lead for Akron University onto Kettering. One more game. They're on match point, Vaudable.
This is so much faster than I thought either of us were imagining this was going to go.
Yeah.
Akron Blue are mechanical merchants when it comes to their composition, their bands, but also just getting in the heads of their opponents. Like, you talked about it with that Moon Knight pickup that we saw from DeVerkel. It's like, hey, I see you doing well, but I'm going to do well myself instead. And well and bold, we got to see them pop off. And again, the Adam didn't quite work. Swapped to the Punisher, worked out pretty well for them there again. And you could see the final hits being another story here. What's going on? Doing a little bit better than last time, of course, but it is a little bit of a longer game mode. So again, I just feel like there isn't enough of like a fragging out ability from this Kettering University team. They have all the like bits and pieces to make a good squad. They have some great support. They have some great tank. They have maybe one or two great like looks from the DPS side of things, but it's just not enough to take on this more damage focused side of Akron Blue. Because even Jack, who's playing tank, is kind of going crazy and slaying out on these other people, getting 5 final hits, 11,000 damage as tank is kind of nuts on with how long this went. So seeing the difference between these two squads, it just feels like a mountain that Kettering University have to climb to overcome Akron Blue and whatever this convoy map will be in the future.
Yeah, Senya as well, being super consistent on the Magneto, right? Top of the list when it comes to final hits, has been really, really clean on following up. It just feels like Akron's playing better as a unit, right? When I see their focus fire, when I see what they're doing, it just seems like they're focusing individuals down, whereas not to say that Kettering isn't playing as a team, but they are relying a little bit more on their individual prowess. Like you mentioned, there is a lack of fragging ability, though, coming out from Kettering University, and sometimes it's as simple as they just got better hands than us. Unfortunately, that's sometimes how the cookie crumbles in these hero shooters. But Vaudable, we are on match point for Akron Blue and Kettering University. We're going to give these teams times to load back in, to get their bans and picks ready for potentially what might be the final game of this series between Akron Blue and Kettering University. Absolutely crazy. You guys don't want to miss it. We'll be right back in a short couple minutes.
Awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No. Come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days
Is a
ago.
dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah, there's something in there.
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. You just can't. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. Now just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the first week of official collegiate Marvel Rivals action here with the NECC. If you're just joining us, I am your caster, Shibby, here with Vaudable, and currently Akron Blue has a 2-0 lead against Kettering in this best of 5 series. Mind you, Kettering technically has the higher peak players. They have eternity players on their team, but Akron Blue has just been putting the work in, it seems like, right? From a scrim perspective, they're just playing better as a team. They've also just been paying attention to the meta a little bit more, I would argue, right? They understand what works in different scenarios. I love that they busted out the Moon Knight on the defensive side in Hall of Dajalia. Vaudable, what about Akron's game have you loved so far that you maybe haven't touched upon, or maybe for people that are just joining us now that you talked about earlier today?
It's not necessarily going to be about their game, but this is just a funny thing because we had the players submit fun facts about themselves, and we have 3 Jacks in this lobby, 1 on Akron and 2 on Kettering University. Kind of crazy to see that that's like a coincidence that's happening here. The team with only 1 Jack is winning, though, mind you, so maybe you need less Jacks on your team to come out on top for their squad. But either way, looking specifically at Akron, though, I mean, the main thing to note is that they have more confidence in their duelists, and that seems to be winning them today. Because again, if you cannot take out the other team from the objective, from the point, what have you, you cannot win the game. Like, again, it's not all about just keeping your team alive. It's not about just pushing the objective. You have to be able to take the other team to task and away from the objective, put them in the spawn room for as long as you can to actually gain momentum throughout each of these different game modes. So we'll have to see what Kettering University can do here on Convoy. A little bit simpler because they don't have to capture anything. They just have to go from checkpoint to checkpoint on Convoy. But I feel like they've been just getting maybe banned out a little bit too much with some of the heroes that they focus on, and that might be where they're struggling because they might not have as much of a flexible pool as some of the top players out there.
Yeah, and we are going to go to Yggdrasil Path.
There we go.
Crystal
your,
ball.
your tweet
right?
was prophesizing.
Yeah. There we go. I'm not surprised. One of the more popular, if not the most popular Convoy map, I feel, in competitive, at least at the pro scene. Very, very good map. I think it's well designed. I have a lot of fun, understanding and kind of looking at how teams navigate this map. Because again, it's one of those Convoy maps, really, really open in the first point. Second point becomes a little bit more confined. And then when you get onto that third point, it becomes a lot less, manageable. People start invading your space like your cat there, Vaudable.
Exactly. And as you might see, they invaded me a little bit earlier on too. So a little hectic, getting some DPS action themselves to show them how it's done on Kettering University. So we'll see what's going to be happening here on Yggdrasil Path as I move them off the screen. They're trying to scratch it up a little bit too much. But even then, seeing how things go here as well, maybe it's just a composition change that needs to go here for Kettering University. Try not to focus too much on triple support. Yes, it's been working out for a lot of those pro teams out there, but it hasn't been working as well as you would hope it would for your squad. So different strategy, different heroes that you could work with. I mean, we saw them kind of mirror on the defensive side what we saw from Akron Blue, where they had the Moon Knight, where they had the Groot, using that kind of combination with the Strangling Prison and also the Moon Knight ultimate as well. So there's a couple different strategies that can go here for it. It's just all going to come down to making sure that it's not just one person at a time trying to focus on individual heroes. You have to have the whole team, especially if you only have one DPS, try to take them down and kind of move throughout it, focusing on the squishier characters if you can that don't have their ultimates up yet.
Well, Vaudable, I think I have a simpler solution here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't think Kettering has tapped into it yet. I don't think anybody's tapped into it. Maybe they just need some Wenzel Farms snack sticks. Right?
Ooh.
It's fuel for your game. You can use it with no mess, no distractions like your cat. It's just bold, protein-packed flavor, and it's there to keep you locked in. Who doesn't like protein when you're playing video games, right? You need something like that. You don't want fats, you don't want carbs, you want protein. So whether you're grinding ranked or the NECC Division 2 tournament, I think keeping Wenzel Farms meat sticks and snack sticks in your back pocket is the move to go. Wenzel's Farms, fuel for gamers, flavor of champions. And honestly, they're pretty good. I've had a couple just at the gas station when I'm doing on a road trip. They are not bad. I will say there are my favorite kind of like gas station snack kind of meat style food here as we do get into the pick and bans for Akron and Kettering. Akron's going to ban out the Wolverine. We've seen an amazing amount of shenanigans with Wolverine on Yggdrasil Path because of the rocket jump boost, like you mentioned, and then they just jump and get a pick, and then you lose that first point immediately. I like the storm save here. Kettering opting in to ban the Human Torch is fine. They are going to save the rocket, which was banned out, mind you, in map 1. If you remember, Akron actually had the sauce. They banned it out against Kettering. Maybe Kettering knows something we don't. I would immediately ban the Phoenix if I'm saving Rocket, though. Very good play from them.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to get rid of the Phoenix so you don't have to worry about their ultimate just taking out all of your deployables that you have out there. Just such a menace to face off against if you are playing Rocket Raccoon. So I was talking about that before, Shiv. He's like, maybe some of these heroes that we see more often used by Kettering University, they could have been scouting the players and being like, hey, we got to make sure that we focus on these bans and nothing else, because that's the main things that they are able to play. So we'll see what they could do going forward. But either way, Cloak and Dagger, that's a really good ban because you don't want to have to worry about their ultimate just carrying them forward towards the convoy and covering up their advances as well. It's very annoying to play against, but this seems to be, for the most part, the same saves for their side as, you know, you see the Storm, you see the Invisible Woman. They've saved that every single time so far.
Yeah, your cat was locked in for the first phase of pick bans.
For real.
Like your cat was just laser focused. Was really trying to, like, if Vaudable can't cast, don't worry, guys, I got you. Your cat was absolutely laser focused. I was actually surprised. I thought they were about to attack your monitor for a second.
Oh,
but
they were.
Cloak and Dagger has been banned out from Akron Blue, and they also are going to ban away the Punisher that has been giving Kettering so much trouble here. And Akron's like, you know what? Fine. You target ban me. Your Moon Knight's gone. I don't care. Like, screw you. Screw you. I'm taking your Moon Knight out. A lot more interesting pick ban phase I think we have here. Emma still available on the board. Magneto being saved is interesting. I do want to see how this rocket comes into fruition here, as L. Weggers is a Rocket Raccoon specialist, it seems like. Now, Lord, obviously 4 seasons in, not as impressive, but still pretty damn cool.
Yeah, no, it makes sense why they were wanting to save them, maybe feel a little bit more effective. I mean, we've seen there's this guy on TikTok that also just like tries to dive with every single hero and see if it's viable. And they said, according to this random TikTok user, that Rocket Raccoon's kind of viable for that. So who knows what we could see from this Rocket Raccoon on the side of Kettering University. Either way, I'm excited for it. Again, triple support composition, but a little bit of a different style with Rocket Raccoon there as well, because they can just be a nuisance and survive so much because they are just a weasel sometimes. Not just a raccoon, but they can just sneak in and out whenever they need to and climb through the walls and everywhere else and bounce off their little healing orbs from different angles where they don't even have to be in the line of sight from the other team. So really curious what their strategy is going to be on their side of things. But Akron Blue, they are the team to beat. They need to go down, at least in this convoy map on Yggdrasil Path, for Kettering University to prolong this best of 5.
Fun fact here, L. Weggers is a top 200 Rocket Raccoon on the leaderboard. So, you know, I wanted to see like, how sauced is this person on Rocket Raccoon? They're pretty damn sauced here. I understand the save, and I like this Squirrel Girl here to break the Akron Blue. I love this. The 3 support, 3 tank composition that we see typically in pro play, broken by what is going to be hopefully a Squirrel Girl Mantis damage boosted team composition here.
And any comments on the crosshair there, Shibby?
That's a top 200 crosshair.
I
don't see the issue.
Valid is all I gotta say on that one. And hey, it's working out so well. This is really the first time we've seen this team of Kettering University win a first fight. They've struggled so many times. We've rarely seen Akron go down so early against Kettering University. It's usually the other way around. So now seeing how they've been able to kind of showcase their skill, Kettering University specifically, having the Rocket Raccoon available to them, it's been the difference maker for now.
Eye of Agamotto does get absolutely blown away. Got blown back into the portal, funnily enough there. Twisted Pickle doesn't really land any kills with the Squirrel Girl ultimate. Rocket Raccoon ultimate still available, maybe waiting for the right time to pop it here. Ethmit has Luna Snow. Akron Blue's got 4 ultimates in the bank here. Surely they can at least stall this, if not win this fight out completely here. 3 support ultimates available. Akron should just be able to out-sustain anything that Kettering has here, as we do see Emily pop the Mantis ultimate, and that's a damage Raccoon. Sorry, that guy's absolutely just trying to roll through, as Kuna does pop the Adam Warlock ultimate, gets a 3-man res here. Big Eye of Agamotto lands onto multiple members. Unfortunately, does not get kills here, as DeVerkle does pick up Bebop here. The Meteor M does go down here, and again, L. Weggers on the Rocket Raccoon. I see this guy on the kill feed. I don't know if that's appropriate. I don't know if that's correct, but who cares? Because you pop the Rocket Raccoon ultimate, you don't need to heal anymore.
No, not at all. And we've been seeing them be, instead of a no damage rocket, they are only damage rocket for the most part. I think it's the first time in a while we've been seeing them actually use their healing ability. So I like this more aggressive style that we are seeing from this player on the Rocket Raccoon. And now we just need to see, is that going to carry them forward? They were lacking damage before. I did not think they'd get it from a Rocket Raccoon.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're damage boosting the Rocket Raccoon, right? Mantis like, well, I can't give all 4 of them over to Twisted Pickle here. Let me give some over to my Rocket Raccoon. As we do see Senya swap over to the Hulk, a hero that has had priority in the pro scene, but only because Namor was being paired up with it. Solo Hulk I rarely saw. So I'm going to be interested to see how Senya navigates this, especially into the mountains of CC available for Kettering University. Hulk's #1 op is CC.
It's such a tough thing to fight against, so I'm really questioning the strategy from Senya. Maybe just to be a nuisance and knock people around from the cart itself, just to displace them away from it. That could be the strategy that we're seeing there from Senya. Again, there's a couple different things that they can do, but we'll have to see once they use their ultimate if they're going to be effective. And so far, so good. They are pushing forward and creating space as any good Vanguard is supposed to do, and that's making it a bit more difficult for Kettering University to round this corner, where I'd say the 2nd to 3rd checkpoint is such a difficult spot to be in. And here's that displacement I was talking about with the World Breaker Hulk. Nobody's going to be getting towards that objective. Nobody's going to be recapturing the cart, at least for now, and they're just going to be solo taking out the Doctor Strange, treating them like Loki in Avengers. There's nothing they can do to escape right now.
Oh, somehow Doctor Strange is still alive here. 3 supports. That was a beautiful juggle. That was a beautiful juggle, Senna. But 3 supports is just too good here. Eye of Agamotto lands onto 1 member here. It's not enough. Bebop, unfortunately, unable to pick up any kills here. Support ult is being popped. Ethmit as well. Meteor M looking to land onto somebody here. Picks up a kill onto Kirby. That's going to give Kettering University a 5v5. As unfortunately, Squirrel Girl does go down in the back. Rocket ultimate is popped. Now we see DPS Rocket fighting the Bruce. Bruce is still living. Bruce gets taken down by Rocket Raccoon. L. Weggers, the Rocket Raccoon save. Maybe that was the sauce, Vaudable. Kettering University looking like a brand new team.
Weggers just doing everything necessary to carry their team to victory. This is a huge momentum shift from the first two maps. They were waiting to make it be like, oh, maybe we don't have to ban a Rocket Raccoon, because who does that? That was their mistake, not banning Rocket Raccoon here on Convoy. They have become unleashed, just ultra instinct against the other team, and there hasn't really been anything Akron Blue have been able to do against it. Again, the solo Hulk is just not the pick. I would swap off of it at this point. It has been working out. Even when we saw them try to take out the Doctor Strange, just because of how much healing there is available, they couldn't really get rid of them whatsoever. I have Agamotto, not quite needed, but it's just some extra sauce to take out the rest of the competition of Akron Blue. This is such a different momentum pace that's been set by Kettering University in the first two game modes.
They've locked in here. Emily as well coming in as a sub. Mind you, they were not playing, I believe, in game 1. They have swapped in for game 2 and game 3 here. Akron Blue, though, need to find their pace here. DeVerkle, again, swapping over to the Squirrel Girl, essentially matching Twisted Pickle, saying, you know what, whatever you can play, I can play better here. Senya and Jack are going to swap over to that 2 shield tank composition here with Magneto and Doctor Strange. Kuna on the Psylocke. Not sure how effective it's going to be into triple support. Has not been able to find the sauce here. Ethmit does have Luna Snow Ultimate available, but Turster waiting in kind with that Meteor M, looking to dunk it onto a ripe support. Kuna goes down here, 6v5. Agamotto lands onto 5 members of Kettering University, but can they actually pick up any kills? Nobody goes down here. Bebop gets rezzed. Kettering, they were locked and stunned in place, and it didn't matter because Akron Blue just did not have the firepower to follow up.
Oh, that's such a rough spot to be in for Akron Blue. Not having the Punisher has been a huge nerf for Akron Blue. They were so effective before in the last 2 maps when they did have it available to them. But now you've seen Kuna swap a couple times to different heroes. Now onto the Hela to see if that'll be enough, but it still hasn't really proven to be. Squirrel's Tsunami comes through as well, just to do some extra damage and force people away. But these are the most amount of eliminations we've seen, both maps combined from Kettering University. And this is only the first time they're on the attacking side looking for that 3rd checkpoint, and they're not going to be stopped whatsoever. An extra minute available to them is kind of, well, almost an extra minute. It was 1 minute and 7 seconds that they have available to them total, but they could have gotten an extra minute if things kept going from the get-go on that first checkpoint into this 3rd. It was just a bit of a stopgap in between the 2nd and 3rd checkpoints for them.
Laudable, when did Squirrel Girl become a hit scan hero? I don't think I saw Twisted Pickle
12 final hits is insane.
They didn't miss a single acorn every single time we swapped over to Pickle. Just absolutely destroying whatever front line or whatever hero was in his sights. Squirrel Girl's a problem. Why didn't we play this in game 1, guys?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they were saving their strategy for like the end of it when the other team wouldn't quite expect it, because we saw the Squirrel Girl hovered before by Kettering University on Convergence, Hall of Dajalia, but they didn't opt with it. Instead, they went for a different option. They're like, I don't really want to go with this, but now it's working out so well for them. There's only 2 members of their team who have died, and that's Bebop, Scott, their tank, and Twisted Pickle, has been a little bit aggressive, but for good reason. 12 eliminations, or 12 final hits, excuse me. There's only 1 player with 3 on the side of the Akron Blue squad. So DeVerkle now having the Jeff available to them. We'll see if that's going to do anything here on the attacking side. I mean, more just some sustained damage probably, but again, got to pull out anything from the playbook for Akron Blue, because that wasn't the best look from them so far.
Yeah, Akron has Storm available as well, so I would just be tapping into this team up right now, especially because it is going into a Squirrel Girl who can't really deal with flyers. I feel like Akron Blue may be playing a little bit different, trying some new strategy. Kuna on the Hela, like you mentioned, solo DPS on this flank right now. I don't know if that's a safe spot for you to be in, is behind the rest of the team.
Okay.
I lied, takes down Mech, but Mech is going to get respawned. Weggers has that respawn beacon available, I assume. Never mind. I guess it was taken down. Senya picks up multiple members here. Kettering University getting a little bit of a taste of their own medicine on point 1 here.
Yeah, tough spot for Kettering University. They really haven't been able to stop too much. Trying to use some kind of combos against the Emma, but pushed up a bit too far, and they are going to be taken out. There's not as much healing available to their team, so that's what's happened a couple times for Twisted Pickle, that they push forward, but now you do see a portal coming through just to keep the advance going. They know, hey, we can save one of these for later if we pop it now, and that was an interesting maneuver from Kettering University just to try and stop this from getting the first objective.
Yeah, and that means the rest of the team are going to be able to flood back in here. Jack, once again, getting a little too over-aggressive on this tank, specifically on Emma, as we do see the eat coming in from Jeff. Unfortunately, does not get anybody. Maybe a little bit too quick on that eat. I would have waited for them to potentially try to scatter. What you see a lot of Jeffs do is they'll use that ultimate timer to actually try and zone everybody out. Big Eye of Agamotto lands onto multiple members. Unfortunately, nobody goes down just yet. Twisted Pickle does pick up Vibing Kirby, but Kuna on the back end with the Goddess of Death picks up one, but Pickle gets rezzed immediately, and that's the value of Rocket Raccoon. Unfortunately, the Meteor does not land. Massive Psionic Embrace, though, looking to zone multiple members out. And it looks like Bebop is on the wrong side of town here, is floating in the air, looking to get some heals. And Akron Blue just have not been able to break this defensive Kettering University, burning more and more resources. Akron has popped the Lunas Ultimate, but you don't have a DPS. You've got tanks and wet noodles to try to win a fight.
That's not going to be enough to take out this Kettering University squad. We talked about how Kettering was missing damage and missing the frag ability, as we talk about it from before. They've gotten it in boatloads now. They have Twisted Pickle available to them that's been kind of fragging out for their team. Swapped off the Squirrel Go, though. Now onto the Bucky. Racket Impact comes through, but no, it's Jeff instead. To avoid things, they do swallow up the Mantis and the Magneto, but they do get Eye of Agamotto instead. Now the Jeff is going to be sent packing back to the gates once they came, and they are back to the spawn room too for Akron Blue. Only a minute remains for them to at least get that first checkpoint and keep things going. This is a completely different ball game. It feels like a different team of Akron Blue, and specifically Kettering University, if you were paying attention to the first two games.
Yeah, I mean, they are just absolutely steamrolling here. El Wegger specifically on the Rocket Raccoon. The save from Kettering might be the pick that they needed here. Akron Blue, not too many ultimates to work with. Goddess of Death available. Jack as well, Psionic Embrace. But Emily has that Mantis ultimate to counter everything. Turster as well with Meteor M, looking to dunk down on any support that dares ult in his face right now. And Mech with the invisible barrier. I mean, Kettering are primed and ready to win this fight and send this to a game 4. Psionic Embrace does get popped by Jack. It is going to look to zone, if not try to get multiple members here. No follow-up, though. Again comes in. Cracking impact from Twisted Pickle. Picks up Emmett. Gets the kill. Finds a reset. He's going to go crazy. Has picked up 2 supports. Says, I want one more on my docket. Shark meat's on the menu, Vaudable. Unfortunately, he cannot find the kill just yet. Bebop and the rest of Kettering are finding this fight, and Akron Blue gets sent packing. Vaudable, we're going to a game 4.
They got blocked by some random woodwork that came through the portal at the end of it. They couldn't go through at the end and touch down. They got stopped in the middle of it just by the random scenery that was out there. That's insane. Oh, but that's not really the sum of it. Kettering University 3-0 after we saw a 1-0 on Convergence is not what we expected to see here. We also didn't expect Twisted Pickle, who's listed as a Vanguard for this team, to be the one who shone the brightest for this squad. 34-4, 18 final hits for their team. That was the difference we were looking for Kettering University. The damage that was missing from them. These swap ups of who's playing support, who's playing on what. Are we having a sub in for a different member, like we saw Emily there on the Mantis, which with the damage boost was doing a lot of great work too. I think everyone on this Kettering University squad deserves a pat on the back with the way that they performed this time. I mean, at most 4 just deaths on your side for any of your members is just insane to think about here, Shibby.
Yeah, I mean, kind of contrasting that, right? Kuna having a tough game after a fantastic game 1 and 2, right? Probably being the rock for Akron Blue. 13 deaths. Not just on the Hella, but on multiple different picks, trying to find the right sauce. And like you said, Twisted Pickle, the Vanguard player, the DPS player, the duelist, I think they're a flex player. I think they'll do whatever the team needs to win here.
Makes sense, yeah.
On that Squirrel Girl, on that Winter Soldier. specifically finding those kills and finding the picks here. He was the reason they won that last fight, by the way. Found 2 separate kills onto 2 different supports, chased the Jeff to the ends of the earth, made sure that, hey, you can't heal your team, so it doesn't matter here. And Kettering University, the rest of his squad, were able to pick up the dub there in that round. Beautiful, beautiful play from them. That sends us to a game 4, Vaudable, which takes us all the way back to domination if I'm incorrect here. And
you are correct.
There are no repeats, so we're not going to get the same domination map. I don't believe there's going to be map bans either. So it is just Akron Blue's choice, right?
Yeah, it's Akron Blue's choice of either Burnin' T'Challa or Krakoa. So I'm assuming we're going to be seeing Krakoa. That's typically what we've seen a lot of people go with. I mean, Burnin' T'Challa is still a great map there as well. So there's a couple different options depending on what they're wanting to play here, especially based on the compositions that we've seen from them. I mean, which do you think would benefit what we've witnessed here, Shibby, from the side of Kettering? Do you think it would benefit them more to have Burnin' T'Challa, or do you think Krakoa would be better? And do you think Akron's kind of thinking about that as they pick?
It's tough, right? Because they now are thinking, well, we're going to have to spend a ban on the Rocket Raccoon early. So that means they're going to open up either the magic that they banned out in round 1, or they're going to open up something else for Kettering University. And we just haven't, like, this is the first time we've seen something from Kettering where it's worked and it's been explosive, right? So now they go, do we actually need to spend a ban on the Squirrel Girl? What was the issue? Akron is now in the lab and they're trying to understand, well,
maybe it's
what
Mantis.
part... yeah, like maybe it's Mantis. Like, what is the issue, right? Like, and they don't really have a lot of leeway to try to figure that out. They have maybe one game, ban something out. Maybe they ban 2 and see if it sticks. If it doesn't, then they've got to go back to the drawing board, where it seems like, at least for the time being, Kettering understand, like, hey, if we save our Rocket or if we put Tusu Pickle on DPS, we've got a fighting chance. And with Kuna struggling as much as they did, that was like one of your best players, right? That was the guy that was really your rock in game 1 and game 2 on the Punisher. Off of Punisher, no offense, he kind of just was a dud, right? Like, and I thought he'd be able to kind of pick up that same pace with hit scan, right? He played the Punisher, surely he can play a Hela, surely he can play a Phoenix, but unfortunately, I just think the momentum was on Kettering's side. So if we circle back to the map pick point, I think it's a Rocco, right? It has to be. I feel like that favors them the best with the open space areas, long sight lines. I really think they could work there.
Well, we do see Burnin' T'Challa. You know, every time we like talk about a map, it's like, oh, this would be a good one. They go the opposite one.
They know what's best. They know what's best. That's good for them.
That's fair.
Burnin' T'Challa is a much more familiar map. Obviously, one of the original maps coming in with Marvel Rivals. I actually really like it. And you'd think, well, Chibi, you don't like Hydra Charteris for the map changes. Why don't you like Burnin' T'Challa? I think Burnin' T'Challa's map changes are actually really cool and fundamentally changes the way the point is supposed to be played. Hydra is just troll. Like, Hydra is just, sorry guys, I don't know. I got you. I looped you back in. I'm going to rant about Hydra a little bit. Hydra, anytime I get the chance, I am slandering Hydra Charteris base.
At the beginning, you're like, I need to slander it a little bit more because we got to see it on our screen for a little too long there.
Yeah, get out of my face, really. But yeah, Burnin' T'Challa, I think it's a little bit more confined. It's a lot more brawly of a map, at least 2 of those points. There is the one where it is in that kind of air-based style.
You need to ban Hela. If you've been banning Hela every time, you got to make sure you ban Hela on this map specifically, because like Hela is Phoenix. So annoying to play on this one too. Yeah, Phoenix was definitely something to worry about, but not as much as we saw there for Kettering University. Of course, going to be banning the Human Torch. We'll see if they do the Rocket Raccoon this time because of how effective it was. But no, they're going to Wolverine. They're more worried about a good Wolverine player against their tanks, which I guess if you aren't as prepared, it would work out for them. But they're the ones this time to make sure that they secure the Phoenix. Okay, I like the change-ups here, Shibby. Mantis save, that's huge. I knew that was huge.
Kettering saving the Mantis, understanding that if they can empower their DPS here, although the Phoenix save, it does make Mantis a little bit more risky because of her ability to knock off all the bonus shielding. If I'm Kettering, I ban Magneto here for sure, because then they don't get the Magneto combo, right? Instead, they're gonna ban away the Punisher. Put Akron Blue, put one of their DPS players on a less comfortable DPS here. They're gonna ban the Strange, interestingly enough, who has been seeing a lot of priority both in the pro scene as well as just in competitive. The changes are nice. He is just a DPS monster. He's able to have full charge on his E pretty consistently here. But now I'm interested to see what these 2 saves are coming out from Akron Blue here. Is it going to be Magneto so that they can nuke the Mantis?
Emma,
Or are they going to
maybe?
save something like the Emma?
Groot. Okay.
On domination, interestingly enough.
That is
Not sure if I
interesting.
necessarily agree with it.
For the Moon Knight,
but
maybe?
they've got a combo. Maybe they've got a combo. Yeah.
We saw them with the Moon Knight before, so maybe that's what they're opting for this time. And I don't think they expect Kettering University to ban it out. I think the Doctor Strange 2 is a ban to kind of nerf magic if they leave magic available to them, right? So they're trying to see if they save the Rocket Raccoon. They saved the Squirrel Girl this time. I would ban the Rocket Raccoon if I was Akron Blue at this point in time. But there's a couple of different like heroes you can go for that are still just over across the board nerfs and not just targeted at one single hero. I do like how they're securing who was popping off a lot. I mean, we did see the Mantis doing really well with the damage boost. The Moon Knight ban because they don't want to see that combo with the Groot. It makes sense. They gave away their hand because I don't think Kettering was going to ban the Groot.
I don't think Kettering were even going to ban the Moon Knight necessarily. The Emma ban being taken away here as well. So you've got
Makes sense.
one shield tank to your name in
That
this
is wild.
game, and it's Magneto. And another tank that's available that somehow slipped through the ban phase is Venom, but instead, Vaudable, rewind it back to season 1, because Magneto Groot is the combo here. 100 Thieves-esque, right? I'll say it time and time again, Vaudable. They are the pioneers of the Meteor M Strangling Prison combo. If you are a player that plays competitive, that aspires to pro play, you should know how to get the Magneto Groot combo down completely. It is a disgusting 1-2 combo. It can nuke multiple members here, and I expect both Kettering and Akron to wipe each other off the board, but the pick that is a variable, and Kettering have to be aware of it if they overcommit those ultimates. DeVerkel on the Adam Warlock. If he gets a massive res after those 2 ultimates go down, Akron just secures an ult economy lead, and they get back into the fight here. Bebop Scott, though, is going to be on this Hulk. Are we going to see a Namor to be matched up with it? Because I really did not like solo Hulk.
I mean, there's been a lot of people playing kind of solo Hulk lately. They really enjoy the way that they are able to just be such a nuisance. On this specific map, too, you can just send people into the center of the objective, too, so they're kind of off of it as well, just for a couple moments there, too. So we'll see if that's going to be a strategy from Kettering University. I think they just like hopping around, and, you know, it's like Easter. They're just the Easter Bunny that's just going to be delivering some success to their team. Who knows?
Easter Bunny is delivering gamma radiation to Akron Blue at the moment. No Emma on the board actually makes this a lot more playable as well. Solo Hulk is a little bit better in that regard, but I just think the Namor combo is too disgusting, and playing Solo Hulk into what is a triple support composition from Akron can be hell here. Want to see how DeVerkel can land some of these shots. It's going to be up to him to make up some of that DPS or lack of DPS coming out from Akron Blue here. Kuna, though, on the Phoenix says, you ban my Punisher, I'll just play something even more annoying as the map has changed. Like I said, these map changes are cool. Now you have to change how you use cover here. And Kuna is just landing multiple hits of this passive. This guy's built up ultimate. He's already at Phoenix ult, by the way.
That is exactly what we wanted to see from Kuna, because they were struggling so far before, but now we do see the snooze onto them as well, and the Phoenix ultimate coming through. Doesn't get really anyone, just does some good damage, and, well, you do see the Rocket Raccoon not really having much to do there. So their ultimate is kind of wasted with the Cosmic Yarn Amplifier taken out by the Phoenix ult, and that is part of the reason why you do see the save on the Phoenix for Kuna. But some good trades here. Kettering University, they are the ones able to just clean up shop, and that's the second time in a row we've seen them win the first team fight, and last time they won the map.
25% already gathered for themselves as well. I really thought Akron were going to be able to take that fight, especially with Kuna building up that ultimate and the sleep landing on the Twisted Pickle, right? Could not get that Kraken impact going. Ethmit does have the Mantis ultimate available, DeVerkel as well, but Bebop Scott has that Monster Hulk available, or World Breaker, like you said. And I just want to see this guy get in and just cause a ruckus, right? That's all you can really do. Let me see the juggles coming out from Bebop Scott here. Ooh. Looks like he's getting ready and primed to pop it.
So much damage, though, on them with the buildup. There's not much they can do. They are just stuck and having to worry about the rest of the team. There's the Strangling Prison, too, to try and combo with them and do some good damage. The Phoenix ultimate's available to them as well. Meteor M, as you were talking about, that combo from 100 Thieves, but all of the ultimates are coming out. We haven't seen a single elimination. Finally, we get a double KO there. Now everyone's going down from Kettering University. They can't stay alive to save themselves, and eventually the objective will finally go into the favor of Akron Blue, but 71%, that's the largest lead we've seen on domination for Kettering this entire time.
And Akron used 4 ultimates there, right?
Yeah.
Groot ult, Luna, Mantis, and the Phoenix just to secure this point here. Look at Kettering University's side. They also had to pop some in kind. Twisted Pickle does have that Kraken impact available. El Weggers as well, 50% towards the Cosmic Yarn there. But
good flank.
Akron Blue has Senya, like you mentioned. Durkle as well has that kind of get out of jail free card with the Karmic Retribution.
Ooh.
And there we go, Armed and Dangerous coming into fruition. And I don't know if Durkle wants to spawn everybody back for another Kraken impact, but instead, he's actually going to pop the Karmic Retribution a little bit early. A bit of a tempo res here, trying to get multiple members back. Is resing his team, but he's on the wrong side of town. He can't heal his team.
Yeah, they're not going to really be able to sustain themselves too well. Thankfully, they do get onto the objective and shield themselves, at least for now, to keep alive and edge ever closer to a tied state on this first objective. The Cosmic Yarn Amplifier is going to be amplifying as much as possible. Strangling Prison, though, we'll see if they can do anything with it. And there is the Phoenix going after the Hulk again, just trying to burst them down and make it so that they can't really be as effective as they were hoping to. Yeah, there's the stun lock that comes through, but again, we see Kuna be a little bit more effective, but too aggressive that time. Going against 3 members of Kettering University, they're going to lose that every day of the week.
This is just a DPS battle, right? Who's more valuable, Twisted Pickle or Kuna? As 85% is ticking, and we don't have the Strange portal, right? They're probably like wondering, like, hey, can anyone stop the Strange? Never mind, it's banned. Ooh, what a nice little yell coming out from Bebop, the Exile, on top of the ultimate coming in. Are they going to be able to touch 97%? It looks like Ethmit and the gang are going to be able to touch here. Almost pulls them out before they can touch here, but with that ultimate being popped early for the move speed, the actual value of that support ultimate is going to go down very quickly. Twisted Pickle, Armed and Dangerous, available, picks up a kill, gets Ethmit, goes again and again and again. Twisted Pickle says, I'm the better DPS, I'm the better Winter Soldier. Doesn't matter, Kraken Impact has a massive, massive team wipe onto Akron Blue here, and Kettering take point 1. Oh my God, Vaudable. Wow. I don't want to say it too early, but do we have the likings of a reverse sweep in process?
I think we do. This is a completely different team, it feels like, for Kettering University than we saw in the first half. Maybe they're just messing around, trying to feel out Akron Blue, make them get too comfortable, and then we're like, hey, we actually know how to play this game, and we're going to show you how it's done, and that's what they've done so far. Twisted Pickle not playing on Vanguard. They're focusing on damage, and more damage. That's exactly what we were saying they were missing before, and nice to see it come out for them. And I think as soon as they made the swap, Emily coming in and taking out their other DPS member before and just allowing Twisted Pickle to come alive. I mean, 16-1, 12 final hits. This is the difference maker for this team. The rest of their squad, of course, doing the work as is necessary to keep them in the fight and have some good heals, of course, with the triple support, but you need a solo damage dealer that can pop off, and that's what Twisted Pickle is doing.
Twisted Pickle doing work right now. Again, ultimate charge does carry over into domination maps here. So Turster, Magneto, and Meteor M, available with this Magneto. Mech as well, the Invisible Woman, Invisible Barrier available. I feel like Diverkle just has not gotten the value that I've wanted out of this Atom that we expected, right? The overcommitment from Kettering has not been punished, and unfortunately these reses have not hit. Akron just hasn't been able to turn the fight around after getting res back here. Kirby, though, does have the Luna Snow ultimate available, as well as Kuna. They can go for the combo. They've got 2 different combo pieces here for Akron Blue. I need to see it. Is it going to be just a raw solo alternate? Never mind. Kuna's not going to try to combo with Akron Blue here. Meteor M gets popped in response. Don't know if it's going to land on anybody. Actually takes down Emily. Emily should get res, though, so it is still a 6v6. And you know what? Turster's like, let me pop my Meteor M. Does not actually pick up anybody. The Groot ultimate doesn't come in. And another Kraken impact. This time, Twisted Pickle gets knocked around, gets slept, unable to pick up any kills here. No resets, and gets taken out by Kuna. A bloody, bloody battle for this second point here. And Akron Blue are coming out on top. Almost there, actually. They are still up. 1 member, Twisted Pickle, is down. Kettering has supports and tanks available, and that's it. Both Mantis ultimates get popped here. Akron Blue are coming in to finish the job. They want to cap this point. They want to win this first point so they can at least start stacking some percentage here. And finally, after a grueling 2.5 minutes, Akron Blue secure the first point.
Kuna carried that the whole way. They were able to get some crucial eliminations, especially shutting down Twisted Pickle. I think mirroring them is exactly what they need to be doing for this team. Take them out first, then deal with the rest of them, because they can't do enough damage to keep your team out of the fight. And that's why they were able to disengage, get back on the objective, and keep things going and win that crucial first fight. If they didn't win that, would have gone to a map 5 for sure. Now they're going to be able to freeze the World Breaker Hulk, burst down some damage on them, have their ultimate available to them when they need to use it, and just trying to stay high and dry away from this Hulk, but they can't escape them too much. Kraken Impact comes through again, and this time it will connect. Gets 2. We'll see if they can get another one for the third, the triple. They're trying to take out the Phoenix. They snipe them out of the sky, and they're looking for more damage. There goes everyone. Quad. We'll see if they can get a Hexa or a Penta of some sort onto this Akron Blue roster. There it goes, and there's the Hexa. Everyone is down. Akron Blue cannot stand up against Twisted Pickle.
DeVerkel, you have made a divine mistake, the cardinal sin. Ulting while Kraken Impact is available. You hear it. Ulting your team as Adam while Kraken Impact is popping off here. Like you said, the Hexa kill coming out from Twisted Pickle, just absolutely lethal on this Winter Soldier. We talked about it earlier. This is a server admin hero. This hero is absolutely disgusting in Season 4, and we see Twisted Pickle using it to its utmost effectiveness as Kuna and Senya do have their ultimates available. Jack and Vibing Kirby as well. Akron Blue should win this fight. They've got the ultimate economy available to them. Can they actually land what they need to, though? Amplifier does come in. Surely we see Kuna respond in fold, but it doesn't matter. Twisted Pickle takes down 2 before the fight even really starts.
Again, and nothing can stop it from echoing throughout the chamber here. You do see the Phoenix try to teleport, try to take themselves off the map to not give them a refresh on their ultimate. Didn't really matter at that point, as they will be sent to the spawn room. Instead, it will be Kettering University holding things down, trying to take it the distance against this Akron Blue roster, not even give them a single point on the reverse sweep that they are activating in our first ever official Marvel Rivals Collegiate matchup on NECC. This is the way we want things to start out, Shivy. It looked doom and gloom at the start, and now it's all high flying for Kettering University.
They heard us talking as Kettering University right now locking in, like you mentioned. Estimate pops the Mantis ultimate available, but we got multiple coming in from Kettering. Meteor M, unfortunately, does not land on anybody. Monster Hulk is popped as well. We are seeing Senya, though. Can he land it onto anybody? No, it whiffs. It goes away. DeVerkel does have the Karmic Retribution available. We might see the Born Again. We have to see the Born Again coming out, because this might be Akron Blue's last chance to secure this point here. Pops the ultimate just to get Vibing Kirby back into the action. Also get multiple members here, but again, the Kraken Impact, he has saved it. Your Karmic Retribution is your absolute demolition as Twisted Pickle is ripping through Akron Blue for the fight win. But wait, DeVerkel might have something to say about it. Kettering University has 5 members up. Invisible Barrier popped by Meg. Wait a minute, Jack pops the ultimate. Akron Blue might have something to say about it. Lands a massive ultimate. Meg takes out Kuna, though. Akron Blue estimate on the Jeff the Landshark coming back in. Wait a minute, Akron Blue, they've got more fight. Vaudable, there's no way Kettering whiffed this.
Oh man, but you do see the Rocket Raccoon getting 2 and Bebop Scott getting the final hit that they needed to onto the Jeff to pull off at least a map 5. This is exactly what we were hoping for, Shibby, after seeing Kettering University hop off in the last round. Now they're able to pull it all the way back from the brink of extinction, and Twisted Pickle leading the charge yet again at 34 eliminations here, taking that map 2-0 to make it be a map 5. 25 final hits, more than the entire team and then some combined from Akron Blue. This is a tier 1 performance that we are seeing from them.
Time out. I'm going to do some quick math here. So Twisted Pickle has 25 final hits, right? Let's tally everybody else's. 12, 6, 2, 3, 1. Okay, 18, 19. That's what, 22, 24. Yeah, he out-fragged his whole team, by the way. 25 to 24 final hits. I mean, Twisted Pickle.
Wild.
Putting on a show. And we talked about Kuna maybe matching him in round 2, trying to do work. 7 finals. That's all it really amounted to here. Twisted Pickle was listed as a Vanguard, but
yeah, maybe need to change their job title.
Hello? Can we get a role transfer? Can we get a department transfer here? Because I don't think that's a Vanguard player. I
No.
can't do that, and I'm a Vanguard player. So I don't know what's happening.
Who
man,
knows?
unfortunately. Very well played from Kettering University. Vaudable reverse sweep has activated. The mental
This is what we
game
wanted.
is coming in. Akron had this 2-0. They were probably cheering in their lab. They were probably going crazy, like, oh, guys, one more map, and we take this 3-0. We can go home. We can maybe study for finals or study for something, maybe go out, get some food. Wait a minute. We're locked in for game 5. Timeout. They're reverse sweeping us, by the way. We don't have an answer for Twisted Pickle. I don't even think I have an answer for Twisted Pickle Vaudable. What an amazing, amazing
My
turn
gosh.
of events for both of these teams here. But we are going to go to a very short break. I know. You want to just get into the game 5, but let's build some of that anticipation a little bit more. We are going to go for a very, very, very short break as we get both teams loaded in to our final map of the series. Can Kettering University pull off the reverse sweep, or does Akron lock in for the final game of this best-of-5 series?
Well, just read. Oh, what an awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I got to take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You got to give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. This is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Ah, yeah, there's something in there. Ah!
Want one?
Thank you.
was worth it. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. No, just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach. Hug him up. He's breathing.
Hello and welcome back, everybody. I told you it'd be a very short break as we get into the final game of this best of 5 series between Akron University and Kettering University. Kettering right now pulling off, or in the midst of pulling off, a reverse sweep. Akron went up 2-0 to start the day, and me and Vaughn were like, man, this is going to be a quick day, it seems like. Why is the series not shaping up to what we expected to be? I think Kettering's been listening to the broadcast. I don't know, maybe they've been feeding maybe a little bit, and they're like, you know what? Let's lock in here. Twisted Pickle specifically being the catalyst for that reverse sweep right now. Absolutely going crazy. Vaudable, any notes? Like what has happened? What can Akron do to stop the bleeding?
My notes are I checked the Marvel Rivals tracker for Twisted Pickle, and their 3 top heroes outside of Doctor Strange and Bucky. Who would you say their third is here, Chevy?
Their 3 top heroes. Squirrel Girl? Am I
wrong? It is Blade. We haven't seen a Blade be like a top hero for someone for like so long. I don't know. Like this person, they are just made of something else, it feels like, because they are able to play Doctor Strange at a pretty high level, Bucky at a really high level, and I guess Blade as well, just for fun too. But Symbiotic Surface is where we're going to for our final potential map here for the end of things in this first to 3 series, and the distance it has gone, and we'll see how far things go. But Kettering University, they have their eyes set on the prize. It is the victory for the first ever matchup here for Marvel Rivals Collegiate regular season.
It's tough. It's tough because Akron Blue right now, we talked about some of the mental aspects, right? Can you imagine if you're Akron Blue, you take game 1, you take game 2 in convincing fashion, by the way. Like, you dominate them. And then Kettering comes back and just smacks you down 2 games in a row. You're in a winning position. You just have to win one of the next 3 here. And Akron Blue, they're going to opt in for the Mantis ban. Like I said, they had to try things out. They've only got 2 games to really do it. They banned some other stuff last game. Didn't really work out, so they've pinpointed, hey, it's this Mantis. It's this damn Mantis that's empowering Twisted Pickle. No more damage boosts for you. And Kettering says, you know what? We'll still get one, but it's going to be in the form of an ultimate here. L. Weggers is going to be able to get their Rocket Raccoon once again. And this is not your prototypical Rocket Raccoon. This guy DPSs, or they DPS.
They just know how to move forward and do what is necessary to get the victory. But I think securing the Punisher is a massive boon for Akron Blue. That is when we saw them on their peak. When they had the Punisher available to them, they were able to do some good damage with them. I wonder, yes, we're going to see the Storm ban from Kettering University. Since the Mantis isn't available, they do not want to have any damage boost on it to that Punisher because they saw how effective that was before. I can also tell that Kettering University are getting a little bit better on picking their battles with the picks and saves here, or the picks and bans here on the other side. Saving Magneto this time too to make sure they have a counter against that Punisher as well is also massive too. And now it really comes down to what the save is going to be for Akron Blue. They've mainly prioritized saving an Invisible Woman a lot of times too for their side of things. It's been okay, but I don't think it's been the end-all be-all for their team. So probably a support. No, it's going to be Emma. So we're going to have both of the top tanks available to them. Okay, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, they want Emma and Magneto available here. This ban, this last one, crucial for Akron Blue here. Are they going to take the Moon Knight away from Kettering? No, they're just going to fully index. And you say, you know what? Twisted Pickle, if you beat us, you've got to beat us on something a little bit more fair here, because Winter Soldier is a little bit busted here. Kettering University do have the opportunity to ban away something like the Doctor Strange from Akron Blue. They could opt in to ban a support like Luna, which has been very prevalent in both of these teams. But instead, they're going to ban away the Psylocke, so they don't get the full benefits
all the
effect.
team ups.
All the team ups, right? They don't get the triple team up. Instead, Twisted Pickle is going to default to that Squirrel Girl, mind you, behind what could possibly be a double shield composition. And for the first time this series, I was expecting this hero. Where is the Ultron? Because now it has arrived.
It has arrived. But also look on the other side of things. Wolverine, for the first time in the last 2 rounds, hasn't been banned out too. And especially when you have those shield tanks to try and take them down a peg, having a Wolverine available to you is massive. And we do see Vibing Kirby, who's been targeted so many times. I had to bring that up. Like, they have been soloed out time and time again. I feel so bad for them. Every time you just see one of those Meteor M's come out, they get sniped in the back line with it. It's just a tough going when you're a support, trying to just stay alive and keep your team up as well. And then you just find a big glob of metal headed your way, and you just don't know what to do but look up and pray.
This map as well, Vaudable. This is one of those maps where I've seen, like, first point hold be so consistent. Like, it actually is one of the harder points to break open if you are on the offensive side here. So Kuna is going to have to get a little bit, you know, I would say creative in how he finds these angles here. He's going to try to wrap around. I do like the fact that we have Doctor Strange and Magneto on the side of Kettering University. Allows you to kind of somewhat counter what is going to be that kidnap here, right? If you're Doctor Strange, you can jump out of it. Also, you have Bubble if you're Turster for your team or for yourself here. But up TP is going to come in, and they're going to put Kuna on the backside. Unfortunately, isn't able to grab anybody, but still is going to be able to potentially melt somebody off the table here. This portal, like you said, interesting portal. Twisted Pickle at 55% of their ultimate, and they are going to take down DeVerkle here. So Akron Blue is going to be stumped a little bit, and Mech on this Ultron. These long sight lines specifically are absolutely lethal. Like I said, Ultron is kind of busted, guys.
Mech is just doing work against the other team. Like, yes, they might not have been credited with all those elims, but they contributed immensely for their team. Not just support, but damage. That seems to be the strategy for Kettering University's strategists on their side, is damage, and also we have some support that we can offer too. But Emily will be the main healer for their side, keeping them up in the fight and trying to see if Twisted Pickle can do some good damage against the other team. They have their ultimate available to them, trying to see if they can at least catch up the Wolverine just to deal with them and not have to worry about them as they advance on to the first capture, or the objective here, the first checkpoint. But either way, Akron Blue, they have to work it out for them. Again, they have the momentum against them. A good grab, choke slammed onto the ground. Twisted Pickle does go down, but they take out a strategist for it. There's another one going down too. Massive ultra and ult here for Mech, who's just been popping off for their team.
Extermination coming in, doing what it's supposed to do right now, and these long sight lines. Guys, you need a hit scan, or you need some sort of flyer, or maybe you run Ultron Iron Man yourself. Akron, I just don't think they're running the right personnel to deal with this composition. Kuna has now swapped over to the Hela, but you've got 2 minutes. That's maybe 2 fights, 2.5 here, if that portal is back up. Akron Blue just seems stumped right now. Kettering have had a solid read of the meta pretty much games 1 through 5 here. They've just been able to execute on these last 3 efficiently.
We'll have to see what Akron does here too. So we do see a little bit of a flank around. Kuna does swap off the Wolverine because it has not been working out as well, especially with those long sidelines, as you mentioned. Ultron's be able to really focus on them at this point in time. But oh, that is a huge combo against Twisted Pickle, taking out the damage from them. Agamotto perfectly timed though. They do have some good Vanguards coming out there to block them. The Fear Magneto, Meteor M, they need to try and get one of these supports. Nice. They take out F-Mit, nothing they can do. All 3 members of the other side make it. Kuna going down too, and they only have a minute remaining. Akron Blue, this is exactly what we saw them do to Kettering University before. This is a taste of their own medicine.
Beautiful, beautiful ultimate usage from Kettering University there, as well as that pick on the Twisted Pickle didn't matter because Elweggers had the respawn beacon available, and now the Scroll Tsunami only can be matched by what is going to be Jack Psionic's Seduction. Don't know if that's actually going to be a actual ultimate that can be popped here for Akron Blue that Kettering doesn't know how to deal with. Every Psionic section I've seen has not really surmounted into much. Senya has the ultimate available. Kuna building towards that final judgment. But look at this. This is the Squirrel Girl map of all maps, so you can just barrel down main and just build an ultimate. Meteor M does get popped. Senya has to get at least one. Unfortunately, doesn't pick up anybody. Kuna does pick up Twisted Pickle, but he's going to get respawned again. Scroll Tsunami available. Final judgment on the board. Can you pick up kills? Kuna, you need to be the hero. Picks up 2, but instead goes down to Twisted Pickle. Scroll Tsunami. There's 4 members for Kettering to the 5 of Akron. Surely this is the fight that Akron wins, because if not, Kettering, you guys are just the GOATs if you turn this around.
Going to be a tough spot, though, but at least they have a Vanguard on the objective, and both of their supports are just popping in to offer some heals when they can and keep them in the fight as long as possible to extend this overtime. You do see the Hawkeye ult come through, and there's no avoiding that, especially with the small shield that you have available to you. Your after images will still be picked apart here by Diverkle, who's been able to swap onto another hero that we've seen kind of popularized in EMEA by Knudten, able to make sure that they just pop skulls every time you see them come around a corner, and that's been a tough spot for Kettering University. So Diverkle swapping on to an unorthodox hero actually worked out for them.
I like this.
For Akron Blue, excuse me.
The Hawkeye plus Punisher is going to be able to deal with this flying menace that is Ultron a little bit better, right? Just you need maybe 1 or 2 shots from the Hawkeye, and that Ultron is going to go down here. We'll see if Mech is going to be willing to swap or needs to feel like they need to swap here, as Bebop does have the Eye of Agamotto available, as well as multiple ultimates coming out from Kettering University. Let's see if he can land it onto multiple members. Goes eye into the sky. Ooh. Gets the Luna Snow ultimate out, but gets absolutely CC'd to hell and back. And Turster on the back end picks up Kuna as well. So that's going to stop any sort of push coming out from Akron Blue. And Kettering University are going to hold them around this corner.
Look at
Twisted Pickle, by the way, with a 4-man Squirrel Tsunami. You banned the Winter Soldier, sure, but this is the premier Squirrel Girl map. Look at this.
There's just nothing they can do about it, especially when the Doctor Strange shield's above it too, just providing cover for Twisted Pickle. They're like, yeah, I got you, buddy. Don't have to worry about anything as you just get some damage, get your ultimate up as much as you can, be such a nuisance to the other team, but they just have no answer. But you do have the final judgment coming through at this time to see if they can at least take someone out, but of course his 4 ultimates are going to be there instead. They do take out Twisted Pickle, who is not really in its range, so it does work out well for them, but there is that res, as you mentioned. The beacon does bring them back, and they do continue forward. At least got them off the objective, but they need at least a frag to do something. Eye of Agamotto comes through, does get at least a couple with it. Twisted Pickle, who else? And they're looking for a third if they can get it on the Luna Snell, looking for the quad as well. Squirrel Tsunami comes through again. There's the quad. Can't really get the Hexa, but it doesn't matter because the rest of their team cleaned up the scraps. Kettering University on a roll. 25 seconds. We'll see what they can do.
Maybe a TP available for Akron Blue here. Instead, they're just going to try to walk it out right now. Senya probably pressured to pop this ultimate early on so he can just walk his team onto the point. 10 seconds available for Akron Blue. Are they going to even touch Viable? No. Nobody's close, guys. You need to hit overtime.
What is going on here? They have 1 second and nobody is on the objective. They finally got there at the last moment. Meters were available for them to at least get onto that objective, but now time ticking down. You have the Meteor M coming out way too late to try and distract them from the objective, but this is just a last death echo from Akron. They can't escape their fate. Instead, Kettering University will have time tick down against Akron Blue, but there is the portal coming through, and we'll see. Somehow it got pushed up by the ledge. That's kind of crazy. First time I've seen that interaction for the portal. Either way, they do get on the objective, though. One last-ditch effort from Akron.
Akron are trying to go in. Multiple members go down, but Kettering University has the res available, have the ultimates in the bank. Turster has to beat it around, but he's like, you know what? I don't really need it. Never mind. Just for show. No paparazzi. Kettering University holding Akron to about a point and a half, let's call it. Akron University has the chance to do the funniest thing here. They might just be able to hold Kettering. Maybe not. It looked a little bit more even. Could you imagine? Yeah, could you imagine that Akron Blue just lock in Twisted Pickle on this Squirrel Girl? Is going to be less effective on the offensive side, though. That is the big thing. On the defense, you can just hammer down main. You can just throw the Squirrel Girl, primary attacks into the lobby, into the lane here, and just try to destroy them. On the offensive side, because you have multiple different positions that you can hold first point from, whether it's high ground, whether it's on site, whether it's on top of the boxes, I feel like this Squirrel Girl is not going to get as much usage. I say that, but Twisted Pickles have 15 final hits. I might eat my words. Look, conventional logic and wisdom states. Yeah, I mean, Mech is doing a good job on the Ultron as well, just finishing up kills that Twisted Pickle. It feels like Twisted Pickle is getting a lot of people low, and then Mech comes in and absolutely one-taps them. This could just be a two-man deadly combo here for both of these individuals, Twisted Pickle and Mech. I mean, just absolutely lethal right now. We'll see how good it is on the offensive side, though. Akron Blue, they've swapped over to desperate times and desperate measures. Penny and Rocket for DeVerkel and the gang here. If this can't hold them, nothing can.
I gotta give a quick shout out to the fact that Mech gave us. She is the top 3.3% of World of Warcraft Mythic Plus players and mains Arresto Druid. Might be why they're able to deal so much terror and damage to the other team, and knows how to keep their team alive as well during it. So great work for their squad. We'll see what she could do for the rest of this as well against Akron Blue. But Kettering University, again, they do have their work cut out for them. They were in a scenario where they had to at least capture a point. They only got 50% of it in the last Convergence game mode. But this is a different ball game. Twisted Pickle on DPS instead of on Vanguard, where we saw them before, more focusing on the Emma that time, and didn't really have anywhere close the amount of impact as they have had so far.
And look at Kuna on this flank right now, just trying to keep them off of this wraparound. I like this. Twisted Pickle is forced to kind of play this awkward high ground angle. It's nice for damage, but realistically, you're just charging support ults at this point. If you're not actually able to get kills here, which is going to be important, Twisted Pickle has built up the ultimate, but if you look on the other side, Fmit at 75%, Vibing at 85%. I think we're going to have a Rocket Raccoon ultimate available to try to turn this fight around right now. Kettering University, they need to find a kill and they need to find it quickly. Kuna, though, on this flank, we do see the Cosmic Yarn being put down here. DeVerkel picks up Twisted Pickle, and there's no res beacon available. So that's going to be a fight win for Akron Blue. Vaudable, that fight took so long. A minute and a half has already expired.
Massive. This is exactly what Akron were hoping for. And again, it's been a while since they've confidently won a team fight and not had to use all of their resources. Look at all those ultimates that they have in the bank. Yes, we are probably going to see all of them, except for mechs, available in this next team fight. But Ivan Kirby also doing work, too, for the Rocket Raccoon. You see the portal come up onto the high ground. This is going to be working out so well for Kuna. They have some cover to actually do some chip damage. See if they can at least be a bit of a deterrent on the other side of things. I like that they swapped over to the Phoenix so that they can deal with mech in the air a little bit better. Not as good of an ultimate, but still a little bit better than it used to be with the buffs that we did see from it. It's still one of the worst ones out there, but it does slow them at least a little bit when they do get hit by it. You did see the Eye of Agamotto. That's a good web, though, and a good Phoenix ult, too, to try and take out more of the deployables by the Rocket Raccoon on the other side. And Jack with the Psionic Seduction, just trying to keep them away. Good kill, as you mentioned, from DeVerkel, but Twisted Pickle is going to go back the other way. Vibe and Kirby can't stay alive to save themselves.
Yeah, unfortunately, multiple members go down from Akron Blue here. There might be an angle for a TP. Kuna, though, being the hero that Akron University needs right now, has been kind of undisturbed on that high ground. Kuna's popping off. He says, you know what, let me put the team on my back really quickly. Akron Blue have bought enough time. Can they actually look to contest, though? Kuna, a heroic performance. TP comes in.
Oh, the TP comes in at the last moment. They had to get there a little bit sooner so that they didn't get that second checkpoint, but they do get through the objective as much as possible. And everyone at Kettering University completely backs off. They're going to lose a lot of that momentum that they had, and I felt like Akron Blue weren't as sustained as they could have been. Senya, as you mentioned, is really holding things down here.
Yeah, Meteor M available as well. Vibing Kirby has that Cosmic Yarn amplifier. They could look to combo instead. Kuna builds another ultimate, and there's the combo that comes in. Unfortunately, doesn't land onto anybody, but it does enough damage. And Kettering University right now, they're down 2 members, and Bebop on this Doctor Strange pops the Eye of Agamotto, goes down. I don't know if they'll have enough time to TP in. It's a 9-second death timer, 10 seconds for Kettering University, and Akron Blue have the chance to do the funniest thing possible, Vaudable, and they hold Kettering University at the last possible second. Reverse sweep. Maybe it's still possible. Akron Blue are not out of the woods yet. Kettering University, TP available.
Oh, no.
Jeff goes down. We do see Bebop on the hold.
no.
He's dead. Akron Blue denied the hopes and dreams of Kettering University.
What a fate of both worlds, going the distance to the end, but it wouldn't be enough for Kettering University to change the odds that were stacked against them. Akron Blue pulled off what felt impossible, and Kuna, of course, deserved is that MVP. We were looking for someone to frag out on either side. We saw Twisted Pickle be the MVP before for their squad, but they could not do enough against the Phoenix, who was just the darkness ahead of them. They were over top of them every single time, and whenever they tried to get on the objective, Kuna was there just being a thorn in their sides. 14 final hits. You think that wouldn't have been enough, but it proved to be at the end to keep them off the objective, keep them guessing on where Kuna would be hiding, bobbing and weaving away, and nobody expected Kuna to pop off at the end like they did. That was a clutch play, not just from Kuna though, the entire team of Akron Blue to pull off the prevention of the reverse sweep. Oh my goodness.
And you look at this scoreboard, right? We'll stick on it for a little bit. For all intents and purposes, Kettering played a better game. Right? 25-5, 24-3, 32-9, 17 final hits for Twisted Pickle. They played a better game. Mech had 11 final hits on the Ultron. But the thing about Hero Shooters, the thing about Marvel Rivals is it doesn't matter how well of a first half you have to play. You have to be able to finish it off. You have to be able to, when you have them by the throat, when you have your foot on the pedal, you cannot let up on the gas. No. And unfortunately, I think Kettering got a little nervous. They didn't expect, like you said, Kuna to pop off on that last fight. They got a little antsy. They backed up when the portal came in, which you think they should have been a little bit more aggressive. I agree, because there were members down. But instead, they opted in for a full reset. That allowed Akron Blue to take the point back, reset, and get the fight win, right? Phoenix got a massive ultimate. Didn't kill everybody, but got one member, I think Emily specifically. And then that was just kind of the waterfall effect, we'll call it, of Kettering University just not able to actually get their footing and get their ground. And Vaudable, I said they had the chance to do the funniest thing in the world. I said that on Clintar, I've seen the most point holds ever. Sorry, Kettering University. I didn't mean to curse you like that. Akron Blue, doesn't matter how it's done, doesn't matter how ugly it is, they get the 3-2 series victory over Kettering University and are the first winners of the official first series of the NECC Marvel Rivals Collegiate Action here. Vaudable, that was insane.
That was nuts. And we have another series after this one, too, to follow it up. I mean, it's got some big shoes to fill after that one. So Kansas State University Varsity versus Maryville Academy. Another, story team in collegiate esports in Maryville. Their academy team, because they don't have like their varsity rosters that they always go for yet. Still trying to feel out Marvel Rivals, but we know them from Overwatch. We know them from all other esports titles. And Kansas State University Varsity, this is another squad that, a state over trying to prove their worth here in Division 2. This is what collegiate Marvel Rivals is all about, Shibby, and I can't wait for more matches to come.
It's going to be amazing here. But before all that, let's rest up. Let me rest my voice because I was screaming a little too loud there. Intense action. But before we get into our second series of the day, we are going to go to a very short break as we get the teams loaded in, ready for another best of 5 series for our week 1 of the NECC Marvel Rivals Collegiate Action. I'm still Shibby. That's still Vaudable. We'll see you very, very soon.
awesome day for a pump, dude.
Hey, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your, nope, get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days
Is a
ago.
dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah. There's something in there. Ah!
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. Now just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach. Hug him up.
He's breathing.
On the other side.
Go.
I can't.
Just-
I can't do it. Help!
Help me, Lord. Help me get over this loss.
I can't breathe.
Hey, I can't breathe. I'm so upset. I can't breathe. Stop. You knock on wood so they go to heaven. It's like a lucky. Hey, get the stick. Yeah. Hey, did you get the meat stick?
Yeah, I got it.
Hey, just hold tight for a second. They're moving the casket. Just hold tight.
Yeah, that's no worries. I got it.
Time to get up. These glasses, jacket, and sweats, baby girl, that's a get up. It's chilly outside, but I'm ready to burn. Super hot fire when I move, better feel that burn. Get up before the sun is up, baby, let's work. Good morning. Ready or not, here I come, let's work. Good morning. Get up before the sun is up, baby, let's work. Nobody stopping you today. Low-key walking with a sway. Going for the distance, drop top, hopping in the range. East Coast, baby, but I'm popping in the A, let's go. This ATL, bro, go get it, trendset it. We're embedded with the avant-garde, the style so synthetic. While I pioneer shine like a golden bellish, oh lordy. This your last warning. I've been waiting in the foyer. You put on the gas, I'm ready to go ahead. I hate
Awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your, nope, get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh, ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the first official week of Marvel Rivals Collegiate Action. I'm still Shibby. That is still Vaudeville over there. And we just got done with an absolute barn burner 5-game banger between Akron University and Kettering University. Kettering trying to pull off the reverse sweep after Akron won map 1 and map 2. But in the final map, on the final point, Akron, I don't know how they did it. They pulled it out of nowhere. They hold Kettering and they take the 3-2 victory. Vaudable, I said it doesn't matter how you win. It doesn't matter how pretty it is, how ugly it is. A W is a W. What a first series.
Yeah. I mean, again, big shoes to fill for our next series here for any team that's competing in this tournament. I mean, Kansas State University varsity, which is also KSU, has to face off against Maryville Academy in our next series. But we do have some updates on some other results that have come through in the background, because again, there's other matches going on today as well for other divisions in Div 2. Kennesaw State Gold took a 3-0 victory over Full Sail Armada, so congrats to them on that one. And kind of no surprise in Div 1, Northwood, a team of basically all pros, got a 3-0 victory against Texas A&M Maroons. So now we get to see how this Academy roster of Maryville versus Kansas State University varsity face off against each other. And really, we just don't know what to expect of these teams, Shibby. And I think that's what made the last series so great, because like, okay, we're expecting this to be a 3-0 after the first two, went all the way the distance, and then just ended the way that it did is just insane.
Yeah, 100%. It's absolutely insane the way it went here. And you know, it's interesting because obviously these are schools that have some pedigree, right? Maryville, like you mentioned, Academy. Obviously, they're not willing to put their full varsity roster in just yet. They're waiting to see how it goes here. And another Celestial Husband. Yeah,
I wonder what our map's going to be then.
keep that map banned for all of eternity. I don't mind NECC. Just a global ban. That's probably what we're going to be seeing here, unless the team has practice on Celestial House. But we get Burnin T'Challa as our first domination map here. And like I said, I really like that map. I think it's so cool the way the terrain changes on that one. I think it fundamentally changes how the map is supposed to be played. But obviously, Vaudable, you mentioned Maryville Academy, just an elite organization and an elite university at so many different games, right? The native game that I usually come from, League of Legends, they've been dominant. They were the CLOL champions last year. Vaudable, I know you're familiar with Rocket League. I'm sure they're pretty damn good over there as well. They've also got a damn good Valorant team, and their Smash program, I think, is also pretty good. So Maryville, just kind of setting the bar for what is an excellence in the collegiate university and the collegiate space here. And I like that they're dipping their toes. I like that we get a team like this and a university like this coming in. I actually recognize some of these names as well. Yokai specifically, I believe they've competed on tier 2 teams, if I'm not
I believe
mistaken.
so as well. Yeah, the name is familiar on that end.
Yeah, I think we've seen them in TVO, but we are going to see them in the collegiate space in the NECC, and we've got a drastically different ban phase coming out from both of these teams. DPS across the board, no Black Panther, no Psylocke available. We have saved both the Emma Frost and the Winter Soldier here. Kansas State University are going to have to be more cautious on what they're willing to ban. Luna taken out of the game. Yay, everybody cheer. Yay!
No more dancing. Woo!
I have my pillow ready. So
a Hawkeye ban. I think that's the first time I have ever seen Hawkeye banned. I don't know about you, Shivy, but there must be a good Hawkeye on Kansas State University varsity. That is the cool thing about this, too. You are not allowed to hide your profile on Marvel Rivals Tracker, so you can scout the other team, see who they're good at hero-wise, and kind of know who to ban and who you want to save as well. And they also know who to prioritize on that end too. Why you see the Black Panther ban? Probably for that reason. Why you see the Magic save? For that reason as well. These are not the orthodox saves and bans that you would kind of expect out there. I mean, Hella as well coming through this time. This is mainly prioritizing damage for these players. They want to see how much damage they can do against the other team. The fact that Human Torch went that far is insane.
Yeah, I'm surprised none of these teams are willing to save it here. The Hella being saved here, though, maybe denies something like a Storm. The Venom being removed is interesting.
Worried about dive, I see.
They're worried about that. Maybe they're worried about the Hella team up as well that Venom gets. I know people kind of forget about it, but it's still pretty effective. I love the Magic save. Doctor Strange available, and this is the first we're going to see of these two teams. I'm sure we've seen Yokai, and I'm sure we've seen Swirlixia as well. Some of these names are familiar on the Maryville Academy side. Kansas State University, though, they've got something to prove. Fooly, Kex 30, Cosmic Frosty, all these individuals, they are ready to scrap it out here. And with so many different DPS bans, I'm expecting a slugfest.
I am as well. It's interesting too that they named themselves MU and then their actual roster, which gives me hope that, you know, depending on how things go for Maryville and Marvel Rivals in general, they might pick up an actual varsity squad in the future, and you could see Yokai and Asterix there as well. Who knows? There's so much potential for this esport. We're not even in the first year, Shibby, of this game existing, which is just crazy to think about. Yeah, we've had beta and alpha and all that kind of stuff, but in terms of the game actually being released, we're still a couple months away from that 1 year anniversary, which is just great to see how much it is flourishing. We have Ignite. We now have Marvel Rivals Collegiate here at NECC. Can only go up from here.
Yeah, I mean, we already have tier 1 players competing in the NEC. This is Div 2, by the way, guys. Division 1. There are some heavy hitters over there. Fate is here, by the way, guys. Fate is in Collegiate Marvel Rivals. So we are going to put onto Maryville Academy and Kansas State University here. First point, first fight win. Oh, so crucial. And I want to see what Yokai and Fuli can do here. Both of these guys, double hit scan for Kansas State University. Absolutely lethal as long as they're targeting the same individuals. Into tanks, they're not too great, but on that backline, if they can get a certain angle, if they can play these off angles, it'll be very different. But none of these have actually surmounted in any kills just yet right now. The sustain a little too strong from both of these squads.
Mainly focusing on like building up that ultimate, I think, is the big thing here too. Trying to see if they can stagger the other team, and again, they're just not even noticing that they are taking damage, but they are still pushing back. And even with the chips that we were seeing from Fuli, they can't really keep it sustained as much as they were wanting to, so had to back off, had to see what the rest of their team could do, and they're actually doing pretty good for themselves. Fuli does get a pick there, and they got 2 actually for the price of 1 def on their side, and I think that is a great trade for their squad. They're just keep these off angles, exactly what you kind of want to see from a Halo player, making sure that they're not the main focus for the other team because they are very squishy. So worked out well. The tanks were able to peel off the Maryville Academy players, have them focus on them instead, build up that ultimate charge, and as you can see, 3 ultimates in the bank for Kansas State University varsity, make it 4, about to be 5 even with Gian Hill. So they have a lot on their side and in their favor after getting the objective, even though we did see some percentage from Maryville at the start.
Yeah, John Hill here has that Meteor M available. Shufta has to be careful, has to be calling out when they're going to be going for that Eternal Bond. As right now, Magneto is going to pop that ultimate, looking for Shufta, searching, gets it blown up actually, so that's a useless Magneto ultimate. Now has to get out of dodge. We'll see. Unfortunately, does not go the way of Asterix Meteor M here. Now Psionic Embrace coming in for Kansas State University. That's not going to surmount to too much here. Calby pops the Phoenix Ultimate. Goddess of Death from Fuli from above. Looking to get some kills right now. Big Eye of Agamotto lands on multiple members of Kansas State University. But Maryville, your team's already dead. World champion is just going to go down, watching his team die before him. Bit of an overzealous Eye of Agamotto, I will say so myself. Kansas State weather the storm that is Maryville Academy, and they win their second fight, 70% on the board. We are potentially creeping towards last fight territory, as it is 70% right now. We'll probably climb to 75 before Maryville get to take a crack at it.
Fuli, Eternity Peak level player as well on their side of things. Now back into the rank elo of GM, trying to climb through the ranks as much as they can, but even then, looking at the way that they are performing so far, this is exactly what you would want from a Halo player. I mean, we saw on the other side of things where it was a bit of a struggle from Kuma on the last series trying to play Halo, but this is exactly the textbook way of playing them. I like when it doing everything that they can here too. They have the Kraken Impact available to them. They have to wait till they're at least out of that Terror Cloak and keep themselves sustained thanks to their supports on the fight as well as possible, but their ultimate is basically going to be do or die for their squad. Looking at the overtime scenario that they are in, trying to take out someone, but they just get countered completely.
Oh, when it pops the Kraken Impact, like you mentioned, gets stunned and gunned immediately here. Kansas State, though, are losing this fight. World Champ and Asterix are able to pick up some kills here, and right on top of Cosmic Frosty says, you're not even allowed to play the game. Very well played from Maryville Academy. They turn the fight around, and Vaudable, you know what I like to say, they've got to play perfect Marvel Rivals from here on out if they want to take this round.
That's a tough spot for Cosmic Frosty, though. I gotta say, they were just dashing, and then they kind of got stuck on the edge of the circle for the objective, so they couldn't even escape. It was just on a silver platter for the Magneto to use their magnetism to take them out of the objective completely. So, as you mentioned, had to play some perfect Marvel rivals, but there could be some mistakes from Kansas State University Varsity. On the other end of things, they do have 3 ultimates available, all of them DPS focused, except, well, I'd say even the Vanguard one there for the Meteor M. You can do some good damage with it too. There's a choke slam though, trying to take out the Doctor Strange, have the Eye of Agamotto. They know based on the timing that they probably have it available. Psionic Seduction though, doing some good damage. They take them out from the back end if they can, but they don't even get a single pick. Pushed off the objective, having to get healed up hugely by their supports, and well, we do see D-Bread go down and a trade the other direction.
Gwenet and Yokai have actually swapped over to the dual hit scan that Kansas State University have popped for themselves. Fooly, though, doesn't matter. Calby's picking up multiple members. Maryville Academy had control at this point just for a little bit, but Fooly is popping off. Both DPS taking turns, so it's my turn on the Xbox. No, it's mine. I get to be on the kill feed. Kansas State University pop that fight, pop those ultimates, and they get the round 1 win. That's a deadly duo, Vaudable.
It is. I love to see a good duelist duo, especially on hit scan, because they can pop off like no one can believe. And it's just great to see that. I mean, you know how you always went back to 100 Thieves? I'm going back to 100 Thieves now, too. I mean, we got to see them pop off so well with Hella in the past, and it's just giving me flashbacks to that with Fooly this time. So 9 final hits from them. Calby having 7, of course. They do have the ace themselves, but I think it's more just because they've been they've been able to contribute a little bit more to their team in terms of just spreading out the damage and helping build up as much support as they can for their team. But either way, both of the duelists doing great work. I mean, even the strategists and their vanguards doing good work too. And this is just where it's dangerous if you have an Emma and a Magneto available too, because they've just been able to push on the objective. It's just been a tough time for the other team to really deal with.
Yeah, you can kind of see the deficiencies of running Strange and Magneto into Emma Magneto. Emma just can completely wipe out anything that Maryville Academy really wants to do here, especially with that Psionic Seduction kind of buying
and the choke slam too.
More time. Yeah, the choke slam. I mean, Fooly as well has that ultimate available. Goddess of Death, she can come in. Doesn't matter. Just absolutely snipes them from halfway across the map. Cracked aimer here. That's going to be Maryville Academy having to back up. They're going to have to give this first point over to Kansas State University. All it took is 1 pick, and Maryville's like, wait, guys, we can't do anything anymore.
Tough spot to be in for sure if you're Maryville Academy, especially being pushed back to the brink, knowing that you're losing ground as steadily as can be. Its percentage is building up for Kansas State University varsity, and well, they do have a pick on it to Yokai, so more damage just taken out of the equation for Maryville Academy. See Fooly just pushing forward, making it so Doctor Strange can even push onto the objective. They're not even using their ultimate because they know they don't need to yet. And you see the Doctor Strange trying to bait it out, but Eternal Bond comes through to try and get on the objective, but more just giving them some space towards it. And not the best timing for it, but they do it. They are able to take them out somehow, so Fooly does go down. 1 ultimate does get taken out. The Meteor M doesn't do much with it either, and this is a tough spot for Maryville because they're already down 2. Make it 3.
Yeah, unfortunately, Asterix could not actually find the Meteor M onto Cosmic Frosty. Good bubble from John Hill specifically on that last tick of the ultimate. Very, very well played. Maryville Academy, they invested quite a bit and still aren't able to pick up the fight win. We're at 55%. Kansas State University, 5 ultimates in the bank. Maryville has 4. Surely Kansas State can manage their ult economy well enough here. I think D-Bread probably wants to open up with this Psionic Seduction just to buy them more time. Even if it doesn't result in a kill necessarily, being able to silence those support ultimates is going to be massive for your double hit scan composition here. Kansas State University is going to pop here. Gwenet is going to pop the ultimate, and it's going to get taken out immediately by Calby. Very well played. Fooly's going to do the exact same thing. Yokai and Calby trading Phoenix ultimates to take down the Hellas, and we do see the Meteor being popped from John Hill. That gets blocked out immediately. Eye of Agamotto was Terror Cape. Doesn't even matter if he's blind. Lands onto multiple members, and Gwenet is there to pick up kills. Maryville Academy throw absolutely everything in the savings account to take down Kansas State University. They've got nothing left. Their bank is broke.
That it is, and here comes a portal already onto the objective just to make it even more difficult for them to secure it, but they didn't get it before the percentage started to build for Maryville Academy, which is what they were hoping for, to extend that overtime. So instead, we do see Maryville Academy keeping this going for them. Kansas State University varsity back onto the objective, and they do swap up a little bit. Fully now on to the Star-Lord to see if they can just deal some damage and be a bit of a nuisance to the other team, at least a little bit, but not the best strategy for them. They were able to fly away, then fly back to the spawn room that time, as you do see on the other team, Wennett able to take out one. You do see Asterix take out two themselves, and some good damage dealt by Maryville Academy, but will it be enough?
Maryville Academy, 5 ultimates in the bank here. They've been easily able to save up. And right now, they're looking in a pretty dominant position. They do have to play perfect Marvel Rivals from here on out, as 99% for Kansas State University. One small slip-up, one overextension, one whiffed ultimate could spell doom for them, as they are trying to bring this back and take this to a map 3 on this domination point here. Kansas State, though, building up their ultimate economies. I want Maryville to pop something now, because they should know they have the ultimate advantage. Force Kansas State back, force them back, and really stagger some of them. When it got the idea, takes out Kex 30. And unfortunately, Asterix isn't going to be able to pick up a kill with the Meteor M. And Colby and the rest of Kansas State are walking into this. They're just dominating Maryville Academy right now.
Oh, man. The old man, Dr. Strange, has seen this in visions of past and knew that this was not the one that they won on. Instead, overtime ticks down, and so do the chances for Maryville Academy to come back. And Kansas State University varsity take map 1. Looking very dominant so far. I mean, Maryville Academy, they had it in them, tried to come back as best they could, but we kind of knew in the back of our heads that KSU varsity was just able to overwhelm them at a moment's notice. They were messing around with some other heroes, having some fun with it, because it was kind of said and done at that point. But Calby, really MVP performance. Them and their duelist cohort that we saw on the side of Kansas State University varsity were just able to do so much. Them and Fooley were just messing up the backline. 13 and 12 final hits respectively.
That's in sync. That's a deadly DPS duo where both of them are on fire, right? Both of them are landing their hits and landing their shots, 12 and 13 respectively. Like Yokai and Wennett, shout out to them. Wennett tried, definitely was picking it up at the end. Unfortunately as well, I think Maryville Academy getting a little bit too conservative, right? At this level, you have to be tracking ultimates. You have to be understanding. You have to understand, where do we have the advantage? At one point during this match, at that last fight, Maryville had 6 ultimates in the bank to what was KSU's, 2? And we saw them pop the ultimates, but it was just too little too late. So Elixia unfortunately died with Invisible Barrier. They didn't even get to pop that in the fight there. Would have been massive for them to use that onto the point and take a little bit of a step back and start forcing Kansas State to walk into them with their bevy of ultimates. But I think Maryville just kind of panicked a little bit at the end. They didn't really, use their ultimate economy to their utmost efficiency, and that's what happens, right? One whiffed ultimate can spell ruin for your game. In Kansas State, they saw blood in the water, and they absolutely were able to take that map win. That's map number 1 going to KSU.
I'm very curious, if we saw maybe a Groot in that second objective, just to wall off the point, so that's a little bit harder for those snipes to come in from the sidelines as well. Might have at least provided a little bit more cover than the Doctor Strange, who was flying around, holding their shield up and trying to do everything that they could. It just didn't really work out as well as they were hoping it would. So a couple different options that they could have gone for. But here's the map we were talking about earlier for Convergence that will be going to next, Central Park. We saw those holds happen on both our Convergence maps that Akron Blue were able to pull off. We'll see if another one happens here on Central Park, which is just kind of notorious for, but it's going to be an uphill battle, I'd say, for Maryville Academy if they have a similar performance to before. Again, I would say Hella maybe not as effective in this first area. Phoenix is, I feel like, always kind of effective just because of the maneuverability that they have and the massive amount of damage that they can put on as well, just with the kind of passive combos that they can do with it. But we'll see how the bans and saves go this time. Kansas State University varsity, I'm very curious what we see from them. Just wanted to make sure that there's no Black Panther that they have to face off against, and I guess for good reason.
Yeah, Kansas State University not really willing to test the waters, I'll say, right? They're like, you know what? Keep this hero ban. I don't want to see it. Maybe there's a one trick on Maryville Academy.
Probably, yeah.
The fact that Maryville Academy also saved magic and did not swap to it once was interesting. Maybe because they thought the ammo was a little too frightening, or that the amount of peel that Kansas State University had with both the Cloak and Dagger and the Invisible Woman, it is kind of difficult to play dive into those two supports specifically, especially with the changes that Invisible Woman got, where now if you pass through her barrier, her bubble, or her shield specifically, you get slowed as well. Like, it is kind of hard to actually fight into them.
Smart ban.
It's a smart ban here. I love Maryville Academy recognizing the issues, saying, hey, you know what? Phoenix was the issue. She was getting a lot of good ultimates off. They were really laying into us with that damage. At least with Hella, when they forced Kansas State onto it, you've got to be more precise. You've got to land your headshots here, which is going to be a lot harder. Kansas State says, you know what? We're up to the challenge. We'll go Hella versus Hella and see if you can actually stack up. Foley did do a decent job at the end there. Not sure if he's going to be able to stack up to Kansas State, though.
Yeah, of course we're going to be seeing the Human Torch ban. Human Torch is so lethal on this map specifically, especially when you're on that first objective, just bobbing and weaving behind the different parts of the castle area. So now we'll see what the final ban's going to come out from Maryville Academy. Last time we saw it be Venom, because they didn't want to have to worry too much about a dive situation from Kansas State University Varsity. And again, I was about to say, I'm not surprised if we see that happen again. I still am curious if we see a Hawkeye, because like they did ban it out and focused on that last time, but again, I don't feel like a Hawkeye is as effective as a Phoenix is. So hey, we do see Foley on the Hawkeye, so like, hey, you give it to me, I'm gonna use it and run it to the bank with it. So we're probably gonna see more headshots, because again, Hawkeye is so annoying to play against if you know what you're doing with Hawkeye. So we saw how accurate Foley was before. They're probably just gonna be such a menace to them again.
Kansas State University, they've got the Wolverine as well here, which is pretty good on this map, at least on the first point. Just because you can try to take them off the edge, you could take them into your team, right into this first point here. Maryville Academy, though, should be prepared for this, at least somewhat. I do like the fact that they're running this triple support composition. Bit of a hodgepodge of different supports, though. Realistically, one defensive ultimate available with Shufta on the Cloak and Dagger, but then you've got that res. I've talked about Adam Warlock enough last series where he's really good if Kansas State University overcommit on the ultimates. It's a good trade if you trade Adam Warlock ultimate for 2 DPSs or like 1 Vanguard, 1 DPS ultimate, but you have to make sure they're overcommitting here, and they don't have any other follow-up. I'm going to watch Swirlixia here on this Jeff specifically. Big eat opportunities, because again, you can go off the map in point 1 and point 2, and even point 3 actually.
There's a couple different spots for sure, and well, we already see Asterix go down and tumble away, locked up, not available to use their powers, and already Foley is not messing around whatsoever. Takes out Yokai. Don't have to worry about the magic when they are just sniped outside of their portals. And well, there comes another one onto Shufta. We'll see if they can get a triple themselves, trying to follow up this Doctor Strange. They are getting healed up, but they can't get the finish. They know wisely to back off, but they are still going to try and do some good damage against them. Just be a nuisance. Making so the Vanguard can't do anything, and they are just going to be taken to task yet again. That's 3 in a row, looking for the 4th while their team is just doing work on the objective. That is the fastest I have ever seen this capped.
That's the first time I've seen a Hawkeye use the bomb arrows.
Same.
Just absolutely laying in to Maryville Academy, specifically laying into Wennet, who's now swapped off the Adams. Says, yeah, we need DPS. I actually think you need dive when you're facing Hawkeye, so the Venom ban from Maryville Academy actually working against them. Ultimate available for Foley, who's been absolutely lethal on the Hawkeye so far. Maryville Academy, though, Yokai has popped into that magic that we talked about, the one that they saved. But I feel like if you don't have the Doctor Strange team up, I'm not saying you're not that, it's not saying it's like bad, but I feel like it's much more easier to dive onto these targets that is Kansas State University, especially onto Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, and Hawkeye, I mean, they do have some maneuverability at least to try and escape if they really need to, but when they're being backed up by like this kind of a roster of heroes, there's not really too much you could do against it. You do see Calby popping off on the Wolverine, just pushing them back to the brink and making it mincemeat of the other team. Takes out one, looking for the second on the Hella. They have no health though, so they will get taken down in stride that go around, but Foley has their ultimate available to them. They'll see if they have some vision to take down the other team, but Sonic Seduction does come through. Dark Child as well. Now you see the Hawkeye ultimate come to bear, and We'll see if it does enough. Meter M, though, comes through. Got to try and snipe somebody. Hawkeye is there to try and take out the Dark Child. And they do just that, fully focusing on Yokai. So they can't even be a factor in these fights.
Oh, and a whiff from Calby actually does not get anyone with that Berserker's Rage. World Champ picks up 1 here, picks up 2 now. And D-Bread trying to do the same. John Hill and D-Bread, the tank duo from Kansas State University, trying to will this point away. Asterix picks up. Kraken impact, like you mentioned, from Wennet is just going to clean this up, going to stop the offensive here potentially. There we go. Maryville Academy with 2 meters for Kansas State. And Wennet, you might have went a little bit deep there. Hopefully you're okay. See if you can get a entourage
Massive
out.
bubble.
They'll be faced. Big bubble, yeah. There we go, Asterix.
Poking the bear
I don't
right
know
here.
if you want to jiggle peek this guy. I don't know if you want to jiggle peek this guy. I don't want to see that. Maryville Academy, though, with a nice fight win. The first fight win of this round for them.
Yeah, and that was a tough spot to be in, especially because it felt like there was no chance they were going to end things off, but you could see that Kansas State University varsity got overzealous and pushed way too far forward from the objective and could have easily captured that second checkpoint, but instead focused on getting elims and clips for their reels at some point. And, well, Fully does get a pick onto Yokai. I don't think Yokai has stayed alive for more than like 2 seconds against Fully this map.
Yeah, I feel really bad. Fully has just been absolutely lethal on his target practice. Swirlixia goes down, and he's just going to be in the range right now. Fully, Sonic Section does get popped by World Champ, but it doesn't matter. Lands onto multiple members, but still, it's just not enough. There's no follow-up. Yokai, die, spawn, die, spawn, die, and spawn again.
Oh my gosh. We just need a stat at the end of this. I think that's the 4th time now, at least, that we've seen Fully just focus on Yokai and take them down. So, like, Yokai, I know you don't want to swap. You might want to, because I feel like this is not the hero to face off against Fully with.
You just sound like me pleading with my ranked teammate. I know you don't want to swap. I get it, but it's not working. Yokai's like, no, watch this Dark Child. Probably going to pop in here to try to take down Kansas State, but they've got so many ultimates available. When it does take down Calby, so that's really good. It's a 6v5 for themselves. Yokai behind the scenes right now, looking for something devious on the flank, trying to go for the kill, but unfortunately does not pick up the support that he's been looking for. And now Fully has his eyes set, and Yokai's like, wait a minute,
I got one.
keep going. There we go with the tank line, finally able to make things work. 5 ultimates in the bank for Maryville Academy. They cannot be shy about this. They have to be willing to rip these when they need to force Kansas State University to pop in kind. There's 3 minutes on the clock. Using these ultimates to buy yourself some time and waste time on the clock is a net worth benefit trade.
Good look so far for Maryville Academy, especially Yokai. I mean, they were able to actually do what's necessary, flank around and just get it on the back line and pressure them enough so that the rest of their team could finish them off. And that was the struggle that they were having before. They couldn't even get activated last time before they got taken down, but now you do see that last stand come through by the Wolverine, taking at least one, trying to get rid of Sue Storm, and they do get taken down as well. It's a great look for the side of Calby, looking for another for their 4th victim. They do get some credit here and there, and now let's see if they can take this the distance. Not much time available. Darkchild does come through, though, to at least get on the objective. Barely much health remaining for them. That's not going to be enough.
Ooh, and they're looking for the invisible. And Fully has shut down 2 separate ultimates in 3 seconds, and he's not done. Shufta goes down as well. Asterisk is able to pick up Fully. They got to do that, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Kansas State University, 0.19 meters. I can see why the Hawkeye was banned, Vaudable.
Yes, I definitely see that now, and I feel like that was really just cathartic for them. It was therapy to try and snipe out the Hawkeye at the end. They knew they weren't going to win it, so they're like, let me just put Fully in his place for one moment, because we haven't been able to do that the entire time. So now we got to go back to the drawing board for Maryville Academy, and they still have to get all the way to the end if they even want to tie on the second map. So it's a tough spot for them to be in for sure, but instead we do see Kansas State University varsity strapping in and ready for the action to come on the defensive side of things. And with all these elims from Fully, 12 this time, almost the exact amount that we saw in the last map from them. So it's just like a different story. And hey, I do like the change up from Asterix. Swapping on over to Captain America. We'll see if that's going to change things up enough for them.
Yeah, this has been the default dive hero that, you know, teams have been going to once Venom is banned out. I'm in the camp that Venom is better than Captain America, simply because in more coordinated environments, yeah, they're just trolling. I think in more coordinated environments, I think Venom is just better. I think, again, if Fooly is going to stick onto this Hawkeye, you do actually need to play dive, though. I don't think you're going to win it with some hodgepodge brawl composition that looks like Maryville is trying to get for themselves right now. We do see Shufta on the Loki. And Loki Invis, interesting combo here. I don't hate it. Loki has fallen a little bit in priority because of the nerfs that have happened here. But World Champ is on the Thor. And I don't know about you, Audible. Thor still sucks to me.
I don't know. I saw Leg Day like going through ranked recently, just tearing things up. So like they're a little bit better than they used to be. Still not amazing.
Of course.
Probably one of the worst tanks out there, but they can do some damage. So we'll see if they have some fun with it at least. And again, this is Div 2. Some of these teams might be like looking forward to be like, hey, we can do something else and have fun with it and go again in the next map. We saw the other team almost able to fall off reverse sweep. What's saying we can't do the same? Well, I think Fooly is the one that's saying you can't do the same at this point. So we'll see what they can do. Calby's just having fun on the Jeff as well. And it's all a good time, good sport for these players. But when you have Fooly on the other line, you just got to be making sure you have concrete answers. And when it's not going to have an answer, they're just going to be waiting for something to find its place in the spawn room.
Yeah, I mean, Fooly's just target practice right now. Oh, they're staggering? Oh. Wait. Whoa. This is high-level tactics coming out from Kansas State University. That's going to force Maryville to wait at least minimum 7 more seconds here. Wennet has popped over to the Punisher. Unfortunately, that's still going to be free food for Fooly at the moment. Kansas State University just doing a fantastic job right now, holding Maryville Academy 2.5 minutes. We've got about maybe 2.5 fights.
Yeah, we do. It's just been such a tough hold to break for Maryville Academy. They haven't been able to get many picks against this other team. I mean, looking at the stats that we had before, none of them, I think, had more than like 5 elims or final hits specifically on their side. So tough for them to really find their pace that way.
Biggie.
You do see the support. Also, the mag bubble is massive if you're able to put that on the Jeff. And they know the pathing to get the heal pack so they can at least spit them off the edge. But Yokai, we'll see if they can do anything. Because again, the double that we see there from Calby, even though they get taken out, look at all those ultimates available for Kansas State University Varsity. There is something that Maryville Academy can do, but they need to at least deal with Fooly first and then go and try to push onto the objective.
Yeah, when it's going to pop his ultimate here. Nice Psionic Seduction actually coming out from World Champ. See if we can actually get anything done. Nice ultimate. They're going to look to overload the Meteor M, but Fooly is looking for the snipe right now. Fortunately, nobody has gone down just yet. Has popped the ultimate. It's just looking to hammer in, and Calby and Fooly teaming up together. Doesn't matter if Calby's on the Jeff the Shark. He's still a competent DPS duo. And Yokai, I think you're on the wrong side of the map.
Not exactly where they want to be. Maybe just trying to flank around and see if the other team might not expect it. We'll see what they can do in this last minute, but either way, Fooly has not really had much to struggle against. Darkchild does come out from Yokai. They need to get a pick here, and somehow the support line of Kansas State University was keeping Wennet alive for that entire, or not Wennet, excuse me, the other team alive for that other time, and Yokai still has not had a single pick in this entire engagement. Finally able to get the Jeff at least, or not even the Jeff, it was Cosmic Frosty that time. It was just a collateral damage. They got taken out themselves. Fooly, in the meantime, was getting just headshot after headshot after headshot. Nothing the other team could do, and time is ticking down. 30 seconds. This is the kind of hold that we were talking about in this specific map that's so difficult for teams to deal with.
Portal coming in. Last-ditch effort from Maryville Academy. Shufta has copied the invisible barrier. Instead, goes down immediately. Fooly.
Oh, my God.
Ding, 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 ding. That's when you need a contract killer there. Fooly.
Wow.
Absolutely disgusting on the Hawkeye. But wait a minute, Maryville Academy.
Okay.
Yokai swapping over to the Iron Man, trying to do it all himself. Unfortunately, might have been too little too late. Sufta is going to get eaten by the Psionic Seduction. He's going to go down, potentially.
Oh, so close.
So close. Kansas State University take a 3-0 victory. Maryville Academy are down 2-0. Similar situation to Series 1 here. Can Maryville Academy actually bring it back? That's the MVP, rightfully so. I mean, this guy, you can't ban him out. You take his Hawkeye out, he's going to play Phoenix or Hella. You take his Hella away or his Phoenix away, he's going to play Hawkeye. It doesn't matter. This dude is absolutely lethal. 25 final hits? What is that?
40 and 40 elims as well for the duo there. That is just insane to see. And looking on this other side, the most final hits we saw was from World Champ with 7. So it's like there hasn't really been too much the other team can do. And even with the damage, like it's not really much damage that we're seeing from Fully. It's the lethality that we're seeing from them instead. They are just able to click heads and have a great time and not really have to worry too much because their support line is keeping them sustained the entire time. I mean, also the Vanguard line looking really good for their team too. So they're doing everything that they can, and we'll have to see what they can do going forward as well.
Tough look for Maryville Academy there. Unfortunately, not able to get it done. Yokai, that magic save, just getting stuffed out consistently, right? Just absolutely not allowed to play the game here. And Fully is the riddle that Maryville Academy needs to solve here. If they don't have an answer to it, I believe and I fear that Fully is just going to take over the game and take over the series here and allow Kansas State University to just take the 3-0 victory. But before we get into our potential final match of the day, we are going to go to a very short break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a couple minutes.
Awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I got to take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You got to give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. This is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Just grab my hand. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is... Oh!
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days
Is a
ago.
dog been digging in here?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah. There's something in there. Ah!
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No, not in front of you. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. Now just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug. Go and get on in there. It's a bad loss. Yeah, hug him up. Just reach.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to what may be our final game of our first day of collegiate Marvel Rivals action with the NECC. I'm still Shibby. That's still Vaudable. And right now, Maryville Academy are staring down match point. They are down 2-0 to Kansas State University. And honestly, Kansas State has just looked like a well-oiled machine. Well, okay, sorry, let me back it up. Foley has looked like a well-oiled machine.
Yes, very much so. It has been such a struggle for anyone to deal with Foley. And again, even though we saw some, mess arounds from the rest of the team, it didn't really matter at the end of the day because Foley was just fragging out the entire time. And that's what we talked about in the last series, Shibby. If you do not have someone who is able to just decimate the ranks of the other team, it is such a tough spot to find yourselves in to try and come back and do what you can. But we're now back on Yggdrasil Path here again. It just seems to be our map, Shibby, for Convoy and the good old faithful for a lot of these squads. But there's going to have to be something different for the side of Maryville Academy, because right now, especially with the way Foley's been doing, and how they can likely do again on this map, it's going to be a tough time to keep your head on your shoulders the entire go around when you're facing off against this duelist squad.
Yeah, I think Foley has just been looking fantastic here, even with Colby taking a back seat, right? Swapping over to Jeff, getting some solid eliminations. Like we mentioned here with those eats, I just think it's tough to deal with this DPS dude. We did see Yokai kind of come back in with that Iron Man look to maybe turn some things around. Maybe that's the sauce, maybe not. Now Maryville, though, are in a bit of a pickle. So they banned the Hawkeye. That's fine. But what are they going to save? Because now Kansas State gets to save the Hella. They're going to take the Luna Snow for themselves. So, hey, we don't get one shot, but it is just 10 seconds of invulnerability instead of 12. If I'm Kansas State, I keep it simple. I force them to make me ban different stuff. I'm just going to save my Hella here.
Sorry, I have to get rid of a cat for a second. He's hitting all my keyboards. Well, saving the Psylocke is interesting too, because we've seen how effective Psylocke is in general. Yeah, they've had a couple nerfs here and there, banning the Bucky because they don't want to have to worry about how effective Bucky is, specifically when it comes to just dealing massive damage and keeping those ultimates going. It's just been so annoying for a lot of teams to deal with that, but I feel like Psylocke works a little better than some of the hit scan on this map, especially at the beginning, because you can flank around, you can get in the back lines with that invisibility when the other team might not expect it, especially on that first checkpoint. So we do see the Emma ban this time, so that's a good ban out. I mean, if you have the Psylocke saved, you probably don't want to have to deal with that team up ability with the Emma there as well. So we'll have to see what they can do for Kansas State University varsity to keep this going, but saving the Phoenix is interesting because that benefits Kansas State University varsity. So I feel like they could have targeted another one of the characters there for Fuli. So who knows what their strategy is here.
Yeah, it could be tough right now. Winter Soldier being banned away. I don't think it's too bad for Maryville Academy. I don't think they're going too sad about it, but the double hit scan is still available for both of these squads. Venom being saved though.
Okay.
Kansas State University.
They're going dive.
Oh, they're definitely going dive here. They're going to give Maryville Academy a very different look. Mind you, Venom has been banned out every single time. Last ban by Maryville Academy. I like that they're taking the Human Torch away. That's always going to be a standard ban pick, especially if you don't play it. But Maryville Academy, what's going to happen here?
Ban the Jeff. Oh,
Nope.
They banned the Wolverine. Okay. Okay, so we're going to have Jeff diving in with Wolverine and Psylocke here. Yeah, they don't have, Black Panther, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, Mantis still on the table too is another thing that we have to worry about as well, and that is not going to be a good time for the Maryville Academy squad. So this will be interesting to see, a kind of smorgasbord composition, you could say, from Kansas State University varsity with the Groot there kind of hovered as well. But on the other side of things, you do see Swirlixa using the Jeff potentially. We'll see if there's going to be some sort of combination coming out from them on their side of things, but they're on defense, so they don't really have to worry too much about it. I mean, we haven't seen like any Storm, so we could have seen like Storm maybe to get some extra damage for their side of things. I'm also shocked we haven't seen a Mantis on their end either for some more damage, because damage has been a bit of an issue for them. Hi, D-Bread. Hope you're having a good time there.
D-Bread's having a fantastic time. He's up 2-0 right now. Gonna be going potentially into match point here, as he wants to kind of close this out. It's getting late for people both in Maryville and Kansas at the moment. It's 7 o'clock for me in the West Coast. Can't imagine what it is in the Midwest and East Coast right now, as it is probably midterms or final season for some of these guys here. But D-Bread and John Hill are gonna go with a very interesting, unorthodox tank duo. I don't know if I agree with this, but also Fuli is on the Black Widow.
Interesting. Fully, I did notice on their tracker that Black Widow was one of their highest rated heroes as well. So now swapping over to the new skin that we have here for Ultron. We'll see how much of a menace they'll be able to be while also kind of supporting their team. But Calvi going down so fast. Gian Hill almost getting taken out completely too. They're having to disengage as well.
Now, we haven't seen this dive come to fruition just yet. John Hill doing a good job when it on the Adam Warlock actually allows them to sustain through a lot of this dive, especially because Luna Snow has the team up passive available as well, where she can kind of create her own soul bond essentially and heal off of that. All the meanwhile, Maryville Academy on this 3 support composition. Yokai on the singular magic DPS. Not sure if I'm completely in love with that.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot to find yourself in. I mean, when it on the Adam Warlock to maybe just do some like damage as it can to keep their team in the fight as well, because keeping them alive has been a difficult thing. But now they have their own karmic revival that they have to like cocoon in and get back into the fight. So fully trying to focus on them. Eye of Agamotto on the back line. That is a good look from World Champ, just trying to distract and peel the rest of the team away from the convoy is a nice look, but they got to do a little bit more than that. They do get one, but they do get swallowed up as well. So tough spot to be in. Gets at least one from it. They'll try and keep their team in the fight too for Swirlixa. The Venom does have the Fear the Abyss ultimate come through, and not as effective either. This Venom's really been a non-issue, it feels like.
Been annoying for sure, but again, the 3 support composition from Maryville, arguably probably some of the best at dealing with Venom and dealing with dive here, right? Soul Bond very strong.
Soul Bond's so good, yeah.
Yeah, Soul Bond is disgusting here. And unfortunately, John and Colby just have not been able to coordinate. I've been seeing them go onto the same target, just the damage is not there. And John Hill gets frozen on actually here. Fear Magneto comes in. Asterix unable to pick anybody up when it still has that karmic retribution like you mentioned. There comes the Eternal Bond from Kex 30. Nobody's dead yet, though. Kansas State are pushing this in, but Shufta is going to pop the Luna Snow ultimate. Another Eye of Agamotto. This time does not land onto anybody, and Fuli picks up World Tank on the back. Yokai has popped the Dark Child, but that's not enough. And a nice eat coming out from Swirlixia. Again, so close, 30 HP. And he's just going to take him off the... Wait a minute. Okay, took one off the map. Cosmic Frosty does go down, but Kansas State, whoa, 0.2 meters, and the portal comes in, Maryville Academy.
Oh man, last second ditch effort from Maryville Academy. It's not going to really do too much, but the portal will stay up a little bit longer to try and keep them in the fight. World Champ will go down. You do see one final Vanguard available here to try and stay on the objective. Calby is insane on this side. Like, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, just hit marker after hit marker after hit marker. Absolutely disgusting. And again, this dive, John Hill, they just need one, right? That's the thing with Venom Psylocke. You can whiff multiple different times. As long as you get that one slam onto the supports into the dash through, that's the kill you need. That's what's going to be the backbreaker for Maryville Academy, who are doing a much better job this time around holding Kansas State and actually trying to win these fights here. Wennet, though, still has the Karmic Retribution available. Nice ultimate coming out from Maryville Academy. They're looking to try to counter it, but unfortunately Swirlixia and Shufta go down. Both supports get absolutely rolled here, and unfortunately Adam has to deal with the demonic dive duo of Venom and Psylocke. Kansas State University have found their groove, have found their rhythm of Audible.
That's what they were looking for. Again, seeing the dive comp, as you were talking about, I like the look with this deep red Groot on their side as well, making sure that they can use the Strangling Prison just to build up that ultimate for their team and some extra damage on the other side, so eventually Venom can just drop in and deal some dirty work against the other team. Dance of the Butterfly comes through and does take out one because of that wall, so it works out well enough to just get the support away from their crew while not having to worry about the other team on the other side of things as well. You do see the Dark Child coming through from Yokaida, at least deal some good damage. So the rest of them do kind of dealt with a little bit on the objective. Venom's just going to stay alive as long as he can because he's just a tank of HP, but eventually will go down. So Maryville Academy at the last ditch effort do hold on, but the wall worked for a second, but it also kind of worked against Kansas State University varsity there.
Yeah, I did get the kill, but unfortunately didn't surmount too much more. And Maryville Academy, when it specifically a very good Adam Warlock ultimate to get Shufta back into the fight, get a support in so they can kind of weather the storm that is Kansas State University, who now have both the Eternal Bond and the Extermination available. Fooly, relatively quiet this time around, has been getting kills with that Extermination. Let's see if they can do something. Calby on this Psylocke, trending towards that ultimate, 55% in hand. Asterix, though, Meteor M available. Shufta and Swirlixia as well. Both support ultimates. Maryville Academy should win this fight. Oh no, they double ulted Maryville Academy. They have to win this fight now.
Oh, they need to. Meteor M comes through as well. It's a huge one, actually, on to the other ends. Cloak and Dagger. So Deep Red goes down too. Good picks here from Maryville Academy. They know this is their last stand if they want to take out Kansas State University varsity. They have 30 seconds and counting to try and hold things down. Cosmic Frosty, ultimate available. Cowie basically has it available. Just needs a couple more hits before going down themselves.
The double support ult coming out from Maryville Academy is going to be what might do them in here. Calby just needs to pop the butterfly. Although Wennet does have the Karmic Retribution available, just going to run it onto these supports here. Good cloak coming out from Swirlixia, but it's not enough. Born Again does come in. That's going to get multiple members here. Karmic Retribution has gotten 3, but the walls are too much. It's going to be able to block everybody off. Big Eye of Agamotto lands onto multiple members for Kansas State University.
Ooh, massive.
Supports go down. Wennet picks up kills, and Kansas State University looks like they're going to be stopped on just the second point's doorstep. Maryville Academy coming back with some fire.
Calby was hoping that they would have time for the portal, but then they realized at the end of it, it's like, yeah, it's not even worth trying to go for it. We'll just reset and hold them down at the end of it. But I feel like a lot of this kind of came down to Kansas State University varsity using their ultimates, maybe not the best timing. We saw a couple of those Groot ults come through, and they didn't really have enough damage to really do much with it, especially when you're just focusing on the Psylocke, who can do some chip damage, build up their ultimate, but they're better at picking people off afterwards. G and Hill as well. I mean, they were trying to do some good damage too on the Venom, but it's just a rough spot for them to find themselves in. This is interesting if they go with this composition to try and hold things down for the first objective. Triple support, triple tank. We've seen this on Midtown. But I like to see how it might work here instead on the defensive end for Yggdrasil Path, just to try and keep them away from the convoy, away from that second checkpoint that they were able to make it to.
Maryville Academy can potentially push this to a game 4. Kansas State University, it might be done messing around. We'll see. Fooley has swapped over to the Adam Warlock. Is not going to be on the Ultron. They are going to look to match here, essentially comp for comp right now. Funnily enough, though, Kansas, Yokai is on that magic. It's going to be a 3-tank, 3-support composition for Kansas State University, and I don't think the Magic is going to be able to deal with this, unfortunately.
No.
Typically you want to run like Moon Knight or Squirrel Girl, something that can overload and farm ultimate charge very, very quickly.
Really just trying to hold things down at this line here, because they know if they let them go even a little bit, they could see Maryville Academy try to push back. But again, the Terror Cloak actually just making it so difficult for them to keep themselves up, and tanks going down so quickly, they haven't even been able to heal them much. So Kansas State University varsity dropping like flies, and Maryville Academy have nobody to stop them.
Yeah, I feel like instead of the Adam, you just want the Jeff there, just so you can get that, long range healing that goes through multiple members. Nice Groot ultimate coming out from D-Bread. I don't think it's actually going to result in too much when it takes down his counterbot and Fooley. There comes the portal coming in. Fooley does respawn, so it's a 6v6. Maryville Academy and Kansas State University. Cosmic Frosty pops the Luna Snow ultimate. Eternal Bond coming in from Shukta from Maryville. World Champion still has the Eye of Agamotto. Lands on the 2 members of Kansas State University. Dark Child as well popped from Yokai. And again, Kansas State University get routed. Another fight win for Maryville Academy.
Okay.
My bad. Solo DPS Magic might be the answer.
This is massive for Maryville Academy. And again, there's just not enough damage from Kansas State University varsity to really stop the advancement that we're seeing from Maryville Academy. And we do see the Hela coming out. We do see Calby back on the Phoenix. No more funny business anymore. They are trying to snipe and dice the other team up as much as possible. Meteor M comes through. We'll see if they can get at least a pick on it. Does get some damage to at least try and assist here in the duelist battle, but they're realizing maybe I shouldn't look down this hallway of doom and despair. We are dealing some damage because the duelists are just getting distracted by the Vanguard, and it's actually working out well for them.
Kansas State does go down. Wennet picks up a double as well here. Colby's going to pop the ultimate here. Not able to get anybody, though. Gets Swirlixia very low, by the way, but unfortunately not able to pick anything up. John Hill as well does pick up a kill, but the Karmic Retribution coming out from Wennet brings back Swirlixia and Yokai from the dead. Calby picks up World Champ, but he's going to respawn. Understand that all the kills you get while this Adam Warlock is ulting is a moot point. It cannot actually mean anything. Kansas State University has swapped over to their real comp. The kid gloves are off, like you mentioned, and Maryville Academy said, you know what? Doesn't matter. We're just better.
I like this composition from Maryville Academy. I kind of wish we saw something similar to it when they were on Convergence. It just seemed like they were awkward, didn't know exactly where to find their footing, and now they found their identity, at least in this map. This is why first to threes are a lot better than first to twos, because you have that time to adjust. You know, okay, this didn't work, this didn't work. We know what they play now. This is what we can focus on comp-wise from here on out. But they're going to still have a long battle ahead of them, especially with the Venom on the back line, trying to deal with them as much as possible and pushing the rest of their team towards the convoy to make it so that they don't have much breathing room to try and get to that second checkpoint, but they still have a lot of time on their side is the big thing.
3 minutes here. Fooley does pop the Goddess of Death. At worst, it's going to be a zoning ultimate, forces them back, and at best, it's going to pick up Yokai on the back end. What I don't agree with is Cosmic Frosty popping the Luna Snow ultimate. Now you've got not really much to work with if you're Kansas State, or Kansas State, sorry. And he goes down. John Hill almost looking for some really cool acrobatics. Colby, though, does pick up Swirlixia. That's going to be a nice stagger. And like you mentioned, Maryville Academy had 3.5 minutes when you were talking, has now gone to 2.5 minutes. Maybe 2 fights available for Kansas State University and Maryville, but Maryville, look at the ult economy, guys. 6 in the bank. Surely Kansas State University loses this fight.
That's what Kansas State University varsity are worried about. That's why they didn't push forward. That's why you didn't see Calby trying to get some more snipes in, because they know that they could pull out some ultimates here and there, especially the Dark Child in towards the back line. They're shielded up too, so they could at least sustain themselves even more so. Meteor M does get destroyed midair. Nothing they can do about it. The Meteor M goes the other direction this time, though, and still does not get the pick that they were hoping for. Dark Child does get denied. No damage, nothing really that they could do with it. See if the Phoenix Ultimate comes through instead to try and at least take out one on the other end for Calby, but they are pushed back to the brink again. Time is ticking down, and so are the chances for Kansas State University varsity to 3-0 sweep things. And Maryville Academy, they only have to keep walking up for so long to make sure they get their first map win here in Marvel Rivals Collegiate for NECC. Here it comes.
Phoenix Ultimate coming in again, not able to get anything, and Kex goes down on the back end. That means Kansas State is down to support, and when it does go down, but he's going to be able to respawn with Karmic Retribution. Calby on the flank, though, looking for a cheeky kill. Lunas no ultimate from Swirlixia is going to keep Maryville Academy alive. When still has Karmic Retribution. Eye of Agamotto lands onto 2. Calby and John Hill go down here, and it looks like Maryville Academy are going to be able to walk in. And wait a minute, Fully trying his best, and unfortunately gets off the point.
Oh no, they were in the ultimate, so they weren't able to touch down at the perfect time. So because they ulted and were the last member remaining, even with the portal coming through, they could not touch the objective. They C9'd at the end of it, or if you watch any Marvel Rivals pro play, L9, low 9, like we saw on the other side of things last stage. Either way, though, world champ definitely really pulled their weight in terms of the Vanguard side of things. I mean, those last 2 elims that they were able to put on, I think might have won them at the end of the day, especially because we saw Fully just popping off towards the end, just a mistimed ultimate. They knew that they were able to get some elims from it, but they forgot that they weren't able to drop down in time because the convoy kept moving along its path. And Maryville Academy prevent the 3-0 sweep. We at least go to another map here, Shibby. This is just great Marvel Rivals we're seeing already, and this is only Div 2.
Best of 5s are superior. That's all I have to say here. And like you said, World Champ really doing a good job on this Doctor Strange. I kind of doubted the solo DPS magic, but damn, at least it did what it needed to do. 27,000 damage in the bank here.
Sheesh.
As well as Wennet. Fantastic job on the Adam Warlock. That's what I talked about
Huge
when
revivals.
wiping out the progress. Yeah, huge reses. Kansas State University would consistently overcommit ultimates, and then Maryville would be like, all right, well, you used like 4 ultimates.
I'm going to let you speak for a minute, and then they're just like, boom, revival.
Would be a shame, right? Would be a shame if I just used Karmic Retribution. Very, very well played from Maryville Academy to send us to a map 4, and we go all the way back to Domination, which again, Kansas State University, that's where their double hit scan DPS composition absolutely shined. Different angles, different ways to fight. That's where I think these two can kind of pop off here. I also think Kansas State were being a little bit cocky with the composition they were running in the beginning.
A little bit. But it was kind of working for a little bit there, and then they just kind of had some mistakes in overextending a little bit too much. That seemed to be biting them in the butt a couple times here. But again, the Adam Warlock was massive. I would not be surprised if we see a ban from that in the future, because again, if you see a team that's fragging out and you are able to invalidate their ultimates as much as you can, as you were talking about, Shivy, having that reset button is always nice to see. Having a double reset button is even nice if you see the Loki and the Adam Warlock come out too. I'm surprised we haven't seen something like that in any of these matches yet, because there is a huge focus on banning Adam Warlock, so you don't have to worry about that in a pro play as well. There's so many different options that you can do with the supports. I'm so excited for when we actually get another strategist in the game too, to see if they change anything up, because so many people are complaining about that, but there's still so much variety with what you can do with the strategist, even if so many of the ults are like, yeah, you're just healing in one spot, you know, whatever.
Oh, yeah, Daredevil for sure is going to be a strategist when he
Please, that would be amazing.
That would be kind of cool, of like a pugilist strategist. I don't know how he's going to heal.
Healing
no
fist.
clue. Healing, yeah, just punches his teammates to heal. Maybe he throws his batons. I don't know. I'm just wishful thinking at the best. Praying he's a Vanguard. That'd be kind of cool.
I was hoping for this map.
Yes, we do get Krakoa here. The first time we're going to be seeing it today. One of my favorite Domination maps. I actually think it's very, very well designed. Every single map tests a different part of your Marvel Rivals acumen. I think, you know, specifically Throne Room, or not Throne Room, but the Seed one, where it's just a giant, big open area. I love that for the flyers, the sight lines. You've also got the more underground one, where it's much more brawl focused, right? There's not as much things to worry about. There's some teleporter shenanigans. I really, really love this domination map specifically because, like I said, it tests how good you are at Marvel Rivals.
I was wondering if they would do that, Chivy. I was wondering if they would save the Adam Warlock. They knew how effective it was in validating those ultimates, and they knew they had to keep it going to keep their chances alive, especially with how lethal the other team is. You see the Emma save. We'll probably see a Psylocke ban if they were smart about this based on how we saw Psylocke being played before, or if they want to focus on one of the other of Fooley's main archetypes that we've seen before with the Phoenix. That might be a good focus for them too. Phoenix pretty decent in these kind of close combat scenarios too, just because of the combos that they can do. But Hela is definitely a focus for them. Hela was doing really good too, so no Hela available for Fooley that time. I feel like Fooley has to still feel kind of good being like the one targeted so much out of any other person on their team. Now it really just comes down to how can the rest of their team elevate themselves to where they become such a factor that they have to start worrying about them instead of just Fooley's heroes that they're picking.
Yeah, I think Kansas State University, though, Fooley just has the ability to take over a game, right?
It's
something
true.
we talked about and something that you have just kind of really iterated that, hey, at the end of the day, you need a DPS that has the ability to frag out, not just with the ultimates, but in between, right? The fights that matter in between. How much time can you stall out? How many of those duels can you win? And I think if Kansas State University are going to be taking this one seriously, they're not going to be running the Black Widow and the Mantis and all the weird stuff. If they're just going to go with their tried and true composition, which is probably going to be Fooley on something like the Phoenix, will be interesting to see if Maryville can actually stand up to what I would suspect is the full might of Kansas State University's full roster and full, breadth of what they can do. I do like the magic save. I suspect they are just going to run that
Wolverine
same
ban. I was waiting for that.
Tank. yeah, the Wolverine's going to be banned out. The 2 tank, 1 DPS, 3 support composition, which is going to be that solo magic DPS. I'm sure they're going to be willing to run that back, and they're going to force Kansas State to beat them on it.
The fact that we have the triple team up basically with Psylocke, Magneto, and Emma is going to be deadly, and yes. I feel like that is going to be a tough thing for Maryville to overcome, even with the Karmic Revival. Yeah, they have their team up with the Doctor Strange and with Yokai there on the magic, but I don't think that'll be enough to overcome just how lethal that combination will be for Kansas State University varsity. But again, I could be proven wrong. It's just we see those heroes typically banned for a reason.
Let's see if Kansas State, Cosmic Frosty, he's going to be on this Rocket Raccoon. We did see some success with the Rocket Raccoon earlier today. True. I actually think that hero is a little bit underrated. I think a lot of people hate on him. I'm not for a good reason. Obviously, Phoenix, hard to counter, don't get me wrong. But, the Res Beacon, especially at this high level of play, because fights go on for so long, Res Beacon is actually OP.
It is. It's very useful, especially if you're not rocking the Adam Warlock too, so that you have just at least one comeback ability during a team fight every so often. That's huge. But they're actually going to be swapping off of it. It was just for them to get the shield charge. I was wondering if that was going to be the case. And having a Cloak and Dagger is so effective too. The Terror Cloak is just so annoying to face off against. Not just the blind, but also the extra damage that you can do through it.
Yes.
It's just going to be a big boost for their team.
Yeah, I love, especially when, the big counter is that Emma goes into diamond form, and then you Terror Cloak them, and look at Kalbi already trying to be a menace in the back line here. And it looks like Wennet looking for a 1v1 right now. He might be winning. Wait a minute. Okay, get put on ice skates. Wennet absolutely got sauced there. And the fight is still going on between these two individuals, Kansas State Varsity and Maryville Academy. Taking this first point, trying to inch each other out right now. Kex already has built up the Invisible Woman ultimate. If I'm Kansas State, I pop this immediately. Unfortunately, D-Bread does go down, so that means they're down a tank. And Maryville Academy are gonna take control of point 1. Fooley takes down Yokai. That's your sole DPS, by the way. Maryville Academy don't have much to work with. Never mind. Asterix takes down Cosmic Frosty. That is 1 support down for Kansas State University. And despite Maryville Academy losing their DPS, they're going to be able to take control of point 1. 20% own the board right now, bottom.
I didn't know Steph Curry was playing a Vanguard here in this map. Hitting threes just from deep is what we've been witnessing from Asterix the entire day. And great to witness from them so far, but now they have to worry about Calby doing some good damage. And the Phoenix ult with the combo to focus on Wennet. A tough spot for them to focus themselves because they are not able to get on the objective. They do res themselves. Ayavagomoto huge from the heavens. You do have the combo with the Yokai too. I love this combo from World Champ and also Yokai just dealing with the business that is put in front of them. No one can counter them at this moment in time, and Maryville Academy seem to be revived. This is a whole different ballgame for them, and I'm having flashbacks to the last series here, Shippy.
Surely on this blessed day, we don't get two back-to-back 5-game bangers.
I feel like we were cursed with that before in like a VGL cast, and now we're having it here.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm down for first day of collegiate to be absolutely lethal as Calby is on the backside looking for a dive, looking for one of these supports to get out of position. But look at how well Maryville Academy's 3 supports are just playing together. They're never too far apart, so they can always patty cake in case the big bad Calby comes in. Psionic Seduction does come in. Nice ultimate from Jeff here. Swirlixia swallows up his allies, though. Does take down Calby in the process. That's a little bit of extra healing and shielding. And Maryville Academy, when it does go down, but I believe he has the ability to respawn here. And the Karmic Retribution. Cosmic Frosty's got to get out of there. He's got to get out of there right now. The Fear Magneto. Very good usage of that teleporter as everybody is flooding back in for Kansas State University. 99% has been achieved for Maryville Academy. They're just trying to take away Kansas State right now. And World Champ and Asterix, these guys have just turned it to 11. They are just absolutely lethal right now. John Hill doesn't get to teleport in. No.
Was so focused on shielding that they forgot to jump through the portal. Oh my goodness, that's gotta hurt there for Kansas State University varsity. They definitely feel out of sorts, like a fish out of water. And I do want to give a big shout out to the Jeff play that we did see from Swirlixa, because they were able to swallow up their team. When we did see John Hill on the Magneto try to use the Meteor M, they had no targets because they were swallowed by Jeff, so they couldn't even use their ultimate in time. So just a heads up play that we saw there in just the micro game of this matchup between Kansas State University varsity and Maryville Academy. And we're just feasting with some great Marvel rivals today, Shivy. I love it.
I'm genuinely just surprised at Maryville Academy dropping 2 maps almost, again, in similar fashion to our last series, and then just coming back with a rejuvenated kind of play, right? I mean, World Champ and Asterix have just been dominating on the Vanguard line. I think this is one of the first series where we've just seen the Vanguards take over, right? I mean, shout out to Yokai, shout out to Wennet. Obviously, the support's doing a good job. But Asterix and World Champ, specifically World Champ, is landing Ayavagomoto after Ayavagomoto, and Deep Red just can't seem to get a beat on him. Look at this.
World Champ definitely wants to be a World Champ for NECC Div 2, and I mean, hey, if they keep this up throughout the season, they might be looking pretty good in the playoffs, and we'll see how things continue through the rest of it. Again, round robin groups for the most part, a bunch of different, I think 18 groups, 18, not 18 specifically there for these teams, and we'll give you some updates on some of the other matchups that have happened in the background after this one is finished up. But right now, Yokai is still feasting, and there's still a famine on the side of Kansas State University varsity, and they cannot find anything to satiate their hunger for any percentage on the objective.
Yeah, fully Kraken Impact available. Kex as well has the Invisible Barrier. We've got a lot of DPS ultimates to work with, but again, Maryville Academy, Wennet specifically holding on to that Karmic Retribution. They've got to kill this Atom first. Like, if they don't take him down here on this first fight or this opening, doesn't matter how many ultimates Kansas State dumps in, they're just going to be able to get res back immediately. And Maryville Academy have Swirlixia. They've got Ayavagomoto. I mean, they've just got so much to counterpunch with. It feels like it's a tough situation for Kansas State.
It is a rough spot for Kansas State. You do have Asterix here. Even with the cloak, it was not enough to keep them alive. You do see Keck go down that time. So Swirlixa does get taken out. So one of the supports, now 2 of the supports for Maryville Academy are gone. But there goes the res. They will get back into the fight as quickly as they left it. Calby trying to take them out. Almost avoided the Ayavagomoto, but mistimed their escape route and does get taken out by World Champ. A double, looking for the triple. It is credited by the rest of the team, but more percentage building for Maryville Academy, and Kansas State University varsity have no answer.
Maryville Academy just took, unfortunate, Maryville Academy are just rolling through these fights here. Again, another beautiful res coming out from Wennet. Gets world champ back into the fight, lands a massive Eye of Agamotto, and now we're at 85%. Kansas State are looking at last fight situation here, and they're looking at potentially blowing a 2-0 lead and taking us to a game 5.
They need to win this team fight because they know that when it does not have their ultimate built up, if they can at least get a couple picks here, that is exactly what they need to do. But you see the Bucky trying to build up their ultimate. Darkchild comes through and they need to take somebody down. There is an overtime scenario here. Meteor M, they need to pick onto at least the Jeff if they can get it going. No, just some extra damage. So the Jeff survives and the Meteor M goes wasted. Yokai's here with the Darkchild, just being a nuisance on the back line, trying to at least take someone out. They don't get the combo though. The rest of their team cleans them up instead. Follows them through the portal. Can't escape the domain of dread here from Yokai. And there it goes. Maryville Academy sweep the domination. We go to another map 5, Shivy.
Back-to-back bangers coming out from these series today. Maryville Academy with a beautiful victory here. And once again, world champ securing the MVP.
0 deaths.
Rightfully so. 0 deaths, like you mentioned. 10 final hits, by the way. I mean, this guy
needs to take him out, man.
Kansas State, I think it's time we start banning the Doctor Strange. You know what?
Or try to focus on a Wolverine or something, you know, to just get rid of him.
I mean, it's surprising that D-Bread can't do anything about him. Like, arguably, Doctor Strange, one of his hardest matchups is the Emma Frost. Has the ability to deny Eye of Agamotto with the Diamond form. Has the ability to, you know, just absolutely overload Strange with so much CC. But somehow, some way, World Champ is navigating through these fights. Multiple Eye of Agamottos have landed onto multiple members. Kansas State just can't do anything about it. And even if they deal with the Doctor Strange, Wennet is just allowed to exist in the game with multiple game-changing ultimates. Like, Kansas State University, this is a puzzle that they have yet to solve.
And the speed that Wennet's been able to build up their ultimate as well cannot be understated too, because the way that they've been able to be so instrumental with that and make it so that it's just a moot point whenever we see any fight happen. Like, they had 18%. They built up their ultimate so quickly during that last team fight that there was nothing the other team could do about it. So we'll see once we come back here, Shivy, like what these teams can do, what the strategy is going to be when they talk to their coach and see, hey, how do we figure this out? We need to take them down and do what Akron did, shut things down on Convoy, excuse me, and see, or Convergence, yeah, what they can do in this next map, because it looked good for them before, but Maryville Academy, we have no idea what they can do this time.
Yeah, very, very well played from them. We are getting another game 5 scenario vaudable, but like last time, like before, we are going to go to a very short break as we get into our final game of this best of 5 series and our final game of the day here. Don't go anywhere. I'm still Shibby, and that's still vaudable.
Awesome day for a pump, dude.
Yeah, I gotta take it easy. Doc says if I exert myself, I will die.
You overexert yourself, you will die.
I'll tell you what, you finish the workout, all these could be yours. That looks good. A little bit of honey ham for the ham. Get after it, and that's your, nope, get after it, and that's your treat. Do the exercise, do the work, then you get the reward. That's how this works, man. You gotta give it max effort, maximum effort. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big hams. Make it work, those hams. Work 'em. Putting in the work. Yeah, baby. Yes. Dude, this is a spicy workout. Gotta make it worth it. Building the beef and bringing home the bacon, baby. I'm loving it. Teriyaki is just about within your reach. Come on, get you some. Come on. Ooh. Maximum effort. Maximum effort. You're there. You're almost there.
That's so worth it.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days
Is a
ago.
dog been digging in there?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh, yeah. There's something in there.
Want one?
Thank you.
It was worth it. What am I supposed to say?
It doesn't matter. He's dead. He ain't listening to you anyway.
I'm hungry.
No. Put it away. I can't watch it. Oh, crap. Just reach in. You gotta pull it. Just grab it. Just take it out of his hand. You just can't. What do you mean you can't?
He won't let go.
What do you mean he won't let go? He's dead.
Help me. Get in there. Now just hold on.
Make him let go of it. No, I got you covered. Just go in for a hug.
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to our final game of the night for our first week.
Hey, don't say that yet.
Marvel Rival. Oh, no, it's our final game. It's our final game. Final game of the night for our collegiate Marvel Rivals action. I've got Kansas State University going off against Maryville Academy, and just like Series 1 with Akron and Kettering, this game has the makings of a reverse sweep as Maryville Academy went down 2-0 to Kansas State University in a dominant fashion, by the way. Kansas State absolutely rolled them on those two maps, but Maryville Academy a little bit dirtier, a little bit not as clean, but still making the potential reverse sweep happen. And it couldn't be on anywhere else other than Clintar, where we saw Akron Blue, who were in the process of getting reverse sweep last series, actually able to hold it against Kettering. Can Maryville complete the reverse sweep vaudeville, or do you think Kansas State University has finally understood and downloaded what Maryville wants to do?
I think history is going to repeat itself, and we see a prevention of a reverse sweep. But this is Maryville we're talking about. It may be the Academy team, so it's like, I don't know. It's a 50-50 So I am going to flip a coin on it, and instead heads will be Maryville taking it, and tails will be Kansas State University varsity taking it. So let's see what we get. Drop the coin real quick, and it is going to be heads. So we'll see if Maryville is going to take this. I mean, this is too hard to tell, but we do see, of course, the bans that come out at the start and the save that worked out so well. You're not going to get that Adam Warlock from the side of Maryville unless you could pull it from their cold dead corpse.
Ooh, hella save though. That's going to be crucial, as Fooley has been absolutely lethal. They got to take the Luna Snow out of the equation to deny the Adam Warlock Luna Snow, team up here. But Vaudable, I don't need a coin for my prediction. I think Kansas State, I think you're right. I think history is going to repeat itself here. Kansas State University should be able to hold it. Hopefully I didn't cast or curse you guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Maryville. All the Maryville fans in the chat, don't crucify me. I've just seen it happen once, and Kansas State has now had 2 games to download your composition, but they don't care. They've allowed Maryville to get 2 key components for their comp. Both Magic and Adam Warlock is still available here. Phoenix being banned away might be detrimental for Kansas State University. What do they save here? Magneto? Like, I don't even think they've had that much success. Surely they just ban the Doctor Strange. Surely you drop Ego and you ban Doctor Strange.
That would make the most sense, yeah. Ban the Doctor Strange here, and that's exactly what they're going to do because of how effective that was, the team up and everything else. But I feel like at this point, you got to ban the Emma the other direction. You can't allow them to have that team up with Magneto and Emma unless you want to just give them the game. There's a couple different things you could get rid of the Wolverine, so you don't have to worry about that at all with your Vanguards. But again, yeah, I guess that's what they're going to be focusing on. So we have the piece de resistance for Kansas State University varsity, where they're going to go Psylocke, where they're going to go with the Magneto and Emma again on their side of things, and probably have Hela and maybe even an Ultron available to them on their side. One thing to note that hasn't been banned here, Shibby, Human Torch is on the table. Will we see it for the first time today?
And that was being banned out from Kansas State every single time, right? That was what that last ban was being used for.
Yeah.
Now I am afraid because with Human Torch being available here, Ultron
anything
as
can
well.
Happen.
Yeah, literally anything. Like Ultron, Human Torch, Luna Snow could be disgusting. Calby, though, is going to be piloting the Human Torch for themselves. And I really like Human Torch into singular DPS compositions because he's under no threat. Unless Wennet is the GOAT on Adam Warlock, unless he's absolutely lethal on these snipes here, Calby should be able to play the game with absolute safety. And on top of that, having the Invisible Woman team up available, I mean, Kansas State should just do it. They should just lock in the Ultron and put D-Bread on another support and just have John Hill solo tank. I don't know what Maryville has the answer for into that composition, but instead, they're going to play a little bit more fair. They are going to run the Invisible Woman. I think Cosmic is going to swap off. Yeah, he's going to go into the Cloak and Dagger here. So not as much healing as Calby would like, but obviously has that Human Torch team up available. And it looks like Kansas State are going to do the smart thing and work their way towards this top point here. I think they messed up, though. Yeah, all right. There we go.
Took them a second to get up there. They're like, wait, X equals Y, what? How do I do this equation? I was doing math all night. Oh well. They just figured out they could just ramp up and play Fortnite. So now they're back on the high ground. The other team recognized that they were probably going to be doing the same thing too. So now we'll see what they can do as they push on the objective. And Maryville Academy just kind of giving them that space, and they're already almost at that first checkpoint. Eventually they had to push onto it themselves, but we'll see how any of these changes come out. Calby getting sniped out by Wennet. You said he had to be the GOAT. Well, he proves to be so far.
Yeah, I mean, that is just kind of the one issue that you run into, because why is Adam Warlock a hit scan hero? I don't know, but it makes it for much more exciting Marvel rivals here. And Calby got to keep his head on a swivel here. Understands that, hey, actually, I'm not as safe as I thought I was, even with the Invisible Woman team up, because Wennet doing a fantastic job getting those snipes going. Nice Eternal Bond coming in from Cosmic Frosty. There is no Magneto ultimate to answer. Asterix is 3% away. Yokai has the Dark Child available. Mind you, Kex 30, Invisible Woman, Invisible Barrier specifically available. Nice Groot ultimate coming out from D-Bread. And Calby just slams into all of them. That's the Smokey the Bear combo that we talk about. Eternal Bond does come in from Maryville Academy, as well as Psionic Seduction coming out from World Champ here. Calby does not have the Human Torch ultimate available, and he's 76 health, has to pop the team up. Can he live, though, is the question. 2 members, 3 members go down from Kansas State. D-Bread picks up 1, but 5 members are coming back up for Maryville Academy. All right, yeah, he's dead now. I was about to say, how is he still alive? Good hold from Maryville Academy themselves. Granted, they have given over 73%. Kansas State University do have a couple ultimates in the bank, though. John Hill and Fooley specifically. But once again, when it needs to die, not once, but twice here, so that they can actually capture this point bottom.
It's going to be tough to take them out. And I think the biggest thing is trying to focus on them first. If you can pick off Wennet, then you can win this checkpoint and then move on to the convoy stage of Convergence. So I think they're going to be focused on them. Wennet's got to make sure that they don't overextend themselves and that the rest of their supports keep them alive and in the fight as well. So World Champ trying to see if they can push forward. I know the other team needs to focus on taking down Calby, but they are going to be using the Supernova, doing some good chip damage, and just trying to take down World Champ as much as possible. The Jeff comes through, though, to keep them survived as long as possible. Born Again comes through by Wennet. That'll be Swarlixa at least taking out one of the supports on the other side of things to take them away as long as possible from the fight and make it even more difficult. But they immediately jump away and escape, so it does take them out for a second, but not long enough. There are going to be those counters, though, as Yokai, Asterix, and Swirlixa just deal with the rest of the competition. Time ticking down. Even if they do manage to win this next fight, having only less than a minute with the extra time added is huge for Maryville Academy.
Yeah, they've been able to burn so much time away. They've been eating so much clock here, and this is Fooley's time to shine, right? No support ultimates available. Shufta is at 90%. They've got to make sure they're not recklessly building up that ultimate for themselves, but instead Shufta is going to have Eternal Bond, so we have to use something here. John Hill does have the Meteor M. I think they need to combo right now. Maryville Academy are starved for ultimates at the moment, and here we see the Hell Unleashed coming in. Psionic Seduction coming out from World Champ. Again, Fooley picks up Wennet, but he should be able to respawn. Doesn't matter, though. They're picking up more. Wennet respawns, though. Calby picks up Sorelixia. There are still 2 supports available for Maryville Academy. And mind you, Eternal Bond was put onto the void. Maryville Academy still have the ability to turn this around. They're really trying to get Fooley there, but a clutch bubble coming out from John Hill. D-Bread is at 85% here, 15% for the Psionic Seduction, but there's just not enough healing. I don't know if Kansas State can eke this out. Dark Child gets popped. You don't have an answer. Maryville Academy are wiping the floor with Kansas State University. Sonic Seduction finally comes in, but I think it's too little, too late. And the karmic retribution born again for Maryville Academy.
My goodness, the coin might have been right here, Chevy. Maryville Academy holds things down, but we have seen other teams hold even longer than we saw Maryville Academy do their work here. Kansas State University varsity, all eyes are on them to not allow more than a single tick for this capture objective for Maryville Academy. Otherwise, this is going to be our first reverse sweep officially for Marvel Rivals Collegiate. We had a denial of reverse sweep. Now we might have a reverse sweep actually happen. This couldn't have been written any better.
Either way, Audible, we get 10 games of Marvel Rivals action. And Maryville Academy, an organization that is just understands what they need to do to win and understands what they need to do on the highest of levels in other games. I'm not surprised that an organization like this, a university like this, is able to, come back from an 0-2 deficit and potentially, do the reverse sweep into somebody like Fooley, who was absolutely dominating him, by the way, right? And maybe Kansas State University messing around on map 3 might come to bite them in the rear here, as World Champ can't play the Doctor Strange because it's banned out, is actually putting in work on the Emma as well. This guy is just an absolute monster right now these past 3 games. Maryville Academy with this 3 support composition. Yokai on the solo DPS. The Dark Childs have been absolutely lethal here, waiting out what Kansas State University has to do, as they have now swapped over to the 3 support. And it's only Fooley, the sole DPS for Kansas State University, needs to put the team on his back one more time, Vaudible.
Building up those ultimates as quickly as they can, too, just to try and see if they can swallow the competition, send them packing off the side of the map, and do their dirty work against them. But Yokai's not going to be able to stay alive. It might have been better for them to just build up some ultimate. And again, people are just getting traded left and right on the other side. You see a Hulk hovered for a second, but no, they're going to go back to the Magneto. World champ doing some good damage, but Fully still keeping alive and almost with their ultimate available to them to push back the onslaught of offense that we are witnessing from Maryville Academy. Swirlixa has their ultimate available, and they got to be carefully timed with it because they know the rest of Kansas State University varsity is going to be waiting to pop theirs. Both Jeff ults available. I feel like that might determine how this first fight goes.
That might determine the game right here. We do see Colby pop the ultimate available, waiting on it at the moment. Swallows up the enemy Jeff. He's gonna try to take him back, but it goes down. Asterix picks him up, but Fully picks up Shufta. We do have Karmic Retribution available. Another Jeff ultimate coming in, this time from Swirlixia. Spits out his allies. He goes down as well. Both Jeffs get absolutely murdered here, but again, Karmic Retribution, an insane amount of value. Cosmic Frosty does pop the Eternal Bond. Maryville Academy are wiping the floor with Kansas State, and we do see the Psionic Embrace coming out from World Champ, but it just gets rescinded. D-Bread actually gets his own Psionic Embrace here, and somehow, someway, Kansas State University fight off Maryville. That's 2 minutes off the clock, 2 more minutes left.
This might just happen here, Chevy. Again, on Clintar, a prevention of a reverse sweep. I said that it has happened before with lots of other teams in different levels of competition, and Kansas State University varsity have it in them. All comes down to how this Dark Child goes, and Yokai gets taken out immediately, focused down, just goes into the ability of the Hela and takes all the chip damage in the world. The Meteor M doesn't really do much from Jian Hill, but we'll have to see what Maryville Academy can do because Yokai's been a moot point this whole time.
And Kansas State are on the back end. Their health bars were looking a little bit low, but Maryville Academy have to back out. So Elixia does have the Jeff ultimate, needs to get a massive eat here. Only swallows up Frosty, but can he actually get him back into the back lines? This could be big here as Asterix picks up Kex 30. That's 2 supports potentially going down for Kansas State as Eternal Bond does get put in, but World Champion putting the team on his back, gets 2 kills. Fully goes down. There's no res available, and John Hill and the rest of Kansas State have to pick up the pieces with no DPS in sight. Maryville Academy might just take this. I don't know if the support's available. Colby pops the Jeff ultimate, looking to stall here, but surely that doesn't stall long enough. Looks for multiple people, gets a nice eat, is going to try to stall as much as he can. Wait a minute, Kansas State University are trickling back in, but unfortunately, Maryville Academy get the reverse sweep!
First, a prevention of a reverse sweep with Akron Blue versus Kettering University. Now Maryville Academy living up to the hype of their alma mater, being able to prove that they are better than the rest and comes out on top at the end of the day. We've seen multiple different MVPs, but the tank line seems to be better than the DPS line at the end of the day, raising the flag for all of the Vanguard players out there. That goes to show that you need as much support, as much strength and metal as you can to take down teams against the odds like this, and making sure you could shut down the other team where we only saw maximum 8 final hits from Fully and Calby, the minimum amount we've seen from them this entire day of competition. MVP performance across the board from everyone at Maryville Academy, though. They stepped up as much as they could. Yokai shut down so many times, but didn't matter because they kept focusing on Yokai a little bit too much and left everyone else just available to take them to task.
My apologies, Maryville Academy. I was not familiar with your game here. Kansas State University definitely are going to have to feel that one. They're going to have to look back, and maybe they're not going to mess around on point 3. I hate to harp on that point, Vaudable, but part of me believes if they just ran a real composition, the double DPS composition that they had available to them, that we might be staring at a 3-0 from Kansas State University. So next time, when it's all 2-0, and maybe they're feeling themselves, maybe they feel like they can mess around a little bit, they'll look back to this moment. Better to happen now than in like playoffs, right? Better to get a little bit cocky, better to get a little bit, overzealous and get punished for that now rather than like 4 or 5 weeks down the line when you might have playoff implications, or it might just be a playoff match here. But well played to Maryville University for successfully giving us our first reverse sweep on day 1 of Collegiate Marvel Rivals. Me and Vaudable could not have been ever more thankful Vaudable, we got our first 10-game day as well.
That we did.
Sorry, Keg. Sorry, CB. I think we get the firsts of everything, unfortunately.
There we
the
go.
only thing that could be better is if they get a potential 11-game series, right? Maybe.
Could happen. It definitely could happen. I do want to shout out some of the other series that are going on out there, too, that just finished up today as well. We did talk about Kennesaw State getting 3-0 over Full Sail Armada. There were some other ones in that same group for Division II East A. Temple Esports Cherry 3-0 to PSU Blue. And then we also saw Winthrop Academy Garnet 3-0 Georgia Tech Navy. That's the B team for Georgia Tech. The A team is in Div 1 because they made it to the grand finals against SFU Scarlet during the summer tournament, if you weren't paying attention to that. Fisher Navy, which is the B team of Fisher, got a 3-1 victory over Queens Golden Gales, which is a Canadian team. Shout out. Fuel Esports 3-0 victory because it was a forfeit over WPI Goats. We saw University of New Haven 3-0 U Albany Purple, and then Terps Premier 3-0 the Huskies on that side. A couple more results still coming in on the other groups on that end as well, but for the most part on the Div 1, they haven't reported most of the results other than Fisher 3-0ing and Northwood 3-0ing, which we're not too surprised. But there was also a Game 5 series as well in Div 1. University of Florida Orange 3-2 to Indiana Tech in their series as well. So lots of very intense matches between these teams. And guess what? That was a reverse sweep as well, Shibby. A reverse sweep in Div 1. University of Florida reverse swept Indiana Tech. I mean, this is the day of Game 5s, and I love to see it.
That only shows to what we have more to offer in the ensuing weeks and the ensuing season of Marvel Rivals here at the NECC. But with those updates, with the conclusion of this series, that's going to do it for us on the NECC channel. My name is Shibby. That's Vaudable, and a special shout out to the chat and the producers and the observers, Reach and Chippy behind the glass, making us look amazing. If you want to tune in for more NECC action, Wednesday, we've got Rocket League. Thursday, we've got League of Legends. And Friday, if you weren't tired of hero shooters yet, well, dude, you've got Overwatch 2 ready to consume here. But like I said, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for tuning in for a banger day 1 of NECC Collegiate Marvel Rivals action. Have a good night, everybody.
Go ahead and get on it.